Start behind Sunline, very good.
It was an excellent run. May have been a fraction underdone, probably come down the worst part of the track, but the run was excellent.
Against these, she should be pretty hard to beat.
Very, very competitive, Joe.
What about Referral later today?
Well, he had a little bit of a setback after the race at Canterbury, and he's worked really good this week. We've got our fingers crossed and hope he runs.
$15, $5.50 Maitland Gold. Uga Chaka 3.30, starting to ease out in the market a little bit down to Miss Zoe at 13, and look at Agile at $4.90 and $8.30 about Omens.
There's been a bit of specking for one down the bottom, Grand Jura, into $43 from 66 to 43.
What is the Queen of the Turf?
In the straight, but finally got there. Beat two Borelli. Dotteressa just a little tardily away from the inside, and pop it from a wideish alley jump quickly. So did Corelli. Out pretty well was, as they settle, Grand Jura. Omens going forward, and Snow Heroes here. Pop it joined and nose by Corelli the grey. Snow Hero third, and then Grand Jura. Omens the inside. A length the Larius, 1.5 to Dotteressa. Miss Zoe, Trinity Cottage, finding herself out very, very wide from Maitland Gold. She's parked over on the inside of Agile and Paris Heartbeat, and the last pair are Uga Chaka and on its inside Veloci to the 600 and past that point, and little between Corelli and Poppet. Third Snow Hero from Larius, and then Omens, Grand Jura, Trinity College, Miss Zoe, Dotteressa, then Maitland Gold, Agile, Paris Heartbeat. Uga Chaka's got one behind her, and that is Veloci in the stretch. 300 left to run now, and the Queen of the Turf, Corelli from Poppet, and Larius and Snow Hero quickly grabbing those. Miss Zoe is joining in. Maitland Gold is next. There's plenty of room for Uga Chaka. Here comes Uga. Miss Zoe got to Snow Hero. Uga Chaka coming at Miss Zoe. Uga Chaka going home the better, and the Melbourne filly gets there. Uga Chaka beat Miss Zoe. Third Snow Hero, followed home by Omens, Agile, Larius, Paris Heartbeat. Then Trinity Cottage, Corelli, Maitland Gold, Dotteressa, Veloci, Grand Jura, and Absolute Poppets. Uga Chaka, she deserved that. Number 4. Scott Seamer aboard. He was very patient on her. Only had one behind her as they came around the home corner. But Scott Seamer didn't panic. The run came at the right time. And Uga Chaka took...
was that wide because she hates taking runs between horses, but there was plenty of room in that man, Scott Seamer. He just can't stop riding winners, can he?
Oh, yeah, when you're hot, you're hot. And that was... And
Queen of the Turf Stakes. Now, I believe, Richard, the Doncaster could be now her next option.
Yeah,
She's only got 48.5 kilos.
Yeah, I suppose it could be an option for her, Joe. There's probably not a lot else around for her. It's the logical race, and 48.5 kilos, a bit of a luxury weight. She won on a firm track yesterday. She does like it soft. You can get a wet Easter. Let's not wish it, but it can happen. You can get a soft track. So, yeah, I think they'll keep her going along that path.
Okay, Maitland Gold's run was a bit disappointing. Any excuses there?
No, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Quite fitting that Scott Seamer rode your horse yesterday, because really you started things rolling for him when he ventured down to Victoria to get serious about the carnival.
Yeah, he started riding work for Lee, and Lee said, Blake rides all right. He's putting in the hours, put him on a couple, and he won on both of them. I think it was Caulfield Guineas Day. And from then on, he's been just riding winner after winner. So we're happy to have him on when we can't have...
Road to Dance, the top rated from 1 Solitary Soldier, 2 Prince of War, 6 Harp of Tara. And the market, Solitary Soldier is very short at $1.80, Prince of War 14, 6.60 Road to Dance, Swing and Miss 8.60, 11 Perrier Tulloch Stakes.
Thank you, Graham. And in they come now for the Perrier Tulloch Stakes. All the rage is number 1, Solitary Soldier. 2 Tulloch. And a good level start too. One of the best out, the favourite Solitary Soldier. Swing and Miss jumped out well. Harp of Tara third, and going up very quickly is a maiden performer, Valedict from Prince of War. Wyangan Pines, and then My Tally, a length Road to Dance, 2 lengths to Golden Fawn, and to Golden Fawn, and Navy Blue and Golden Fawn are the joint tail enders. They're on the corner now, and My Tally shows the way and will swing first. A length Harp of Tara, hard-ridden, Valedict the rails. Solitary Soldier coming into it now, and then a gap to Wyangan Pines, followed by Road to Dance at the 300 marker, and the leader is still My Tally, a length and a half. Valedict. Solitary Soldier is taking a while to get to My Tally, and then Prince of War, who's seeing daylight, and he's coming quickly. My Tally grabbed by Prince of War, and Prince of War is racing away, getting up for second, Valedict, but Prince of War does it well. Prince of War beat Valedict and My Tally, and then Road to Dance in company with Swing and Mist. Solitary Soldier didn't run on, followed followed by Navy Blue and then Daneborough, Harp of Tara, Golden Fawn and Wyangan.
Wrong, Scott Seamer paying $11.10 in New South Wales there, but look at the bolters running second and third. Valedict, it's still a maiden, Graham. Hard to believe it's still a maiden.
The field. Scott Seamer does it again.
12 Dress Circle, Universal Prince $1.80, Rain Gauge 11, Sale of Century 18 and Ethereal at $4.90. Let's look ahead to the next race at Cheltenham. It's
Alter at $19.
Ethereal's been pretty solid, Richard.
Yes, Ethereal getting to a right distance and getting back to a right racing weight. And that's an important thing with stayers, and Sheila Laxon has just about peaked this mare, and punters are believing that maybe today is the day. That's why she's at 5.10.
Yeah, she might run a very...
Screen now, Universal Prince Justin Sheehan looked terrific winning the Rand bet when he got the run. He just blew them away, didn't he? Presses the button. There they go on the BMW. Dress Circle was best out. Tie the Knot jumped away nicely, followed by Rain Gauge, Freemason, Ethereal, Sale of Century, and immediately back to last Universal Prince. Well, it's Dress Circle in front as they come along the home straight on the first occasion with a lead of about 1.5 lengths on Freemason. 2 to Rain Gauge as they work their way to the 800 marker, and Dress Circle a neck on Freemason, about 4 lengths to Tie the Knot, and then Rain Gauge, followed by Ethereal, and a couple of lengths to Universal Prince, about to make some ground, and Sale of Centuries on his inside. At the 550, coming down towards the home corner in the BMW, and Dress Circle being sent along by Yorker. Half Freemason, Rain Gauge, Tie the Knot. Dye had a quick peep on Tie the Knot. He was looking for Justin Sheehan on Universal Prince, and here's Justin and Universal at the 300. Rain Gauge got to Dress Circle and Freemason, Tie the Knot, and Universal Prince. Rain Gauge, Beatman pulls the whip, but Universal Prince is claiming the Victorian. It's Universal Prince and Rain Gauge. Ethereal starting to fly. Universal Prince hits the front. Ethereal, go! Yes! Did Ethereal make it? To the naked eye, looked as though it might have. But hang on to your briefs. Ethereal and Universal Prince from Rain Gauge, followed at the head of the others by Freemason, and then came Sale of Century, Tie the Knot, and Dress Circle. Photo. And 270. Yep, there's the number. Number 7, Ethereal, written by Scott Seamer, has come with a witherer when Universal Prince looked all over a winner. And Ethereal gets there at 5. And Scott Seamer, there is that man again. 3 consecutive winners today. Let's check the full numbers. 7 Ethereal, 550, 270. Number 4, second Universal Prince. Had it won.
And look, when you talk about great mares, now look,
She's boxed up
She's
here
boxed up
inside
here.
Universal Prince. She's easing away behind Universal Prince. She can't get between Universal Prince and Tie the Knot, so she comes to the outside. Scotty Seamer stokes her up. Looks like the race is lost because Rain Gauge and Universal Prince had it between them in the last few strides. She's just unleashed an enormous run, and Ethereal has nailed them right on the line, Graham.
well, you talk about great mares in recent years. Let's Elope is one that comes to mind. But I tell you what, she's right up there now.
Oh, she's up there with the best staying mares. Well,
Yeah.
certainly she may be the best staying mare I've ever seen. Let's Elope was up there, but Ethereal, wow, this is something right out of the box. She's only just come right. She's got to a right distance. She's had the race run to suit her with a good fast pace on. She's come from the tail and got him.
And it's the way that she did it.
And the way she did it.
The
yeah.
way that
That's
she
the
did
way.
it.
But, you know, to her courage, once she got into clear, she just proved she was the better horse.
So what are you saying? They had that turn of foot, you thought, I'm on a stayer, I'll just ease her out of it, pull her to the outside and hope we can run them down over the ground?
That's the thing, you know, both them horses, a mile to 2,000, you know, they're always competitive, where this mare, she doesn't really start to get competitive until she's at a 1.5 miles plus. She's had 4 starts at a 1.5 miles plus, and she's won all 4 of them.
Righto, you said to us earlier you were going to treat yourself to an overseas trip, and you wanted her to go over there and race over in Europe. You've got to ask the owner to take her there now. Would he be in it, Val?
I hope so. I'll try and convince him, don't worry, because she should suit the European racing, because she's a dead set 1.5 miles mare. So I just hope he does. It'll be a good swan song for her, and it'll also help me in my career.
How good is it to be back in the winner's circle?
The race, I thought that might have cost her, but the post came up just at the right time.
Universal Prince came from behind her and got well past her in the straight.
Yes, she just couldn't get a run, and then I thought, oh, he's just got nowhere to go. But credit to Scott, you know, he just kept going and pulled her out. And
Yeah. And this association between yourself and New Zealand trainer with a former Brisbane-based jockey has snowballed from humble beginnings.
Oh, hasn't it, Evan? And good on him for making the most of his opportunities. He's a tremendous rider.
Well, that's his third for the day, so he'll go into the Golden Slipper chock full of confidence.
Well, not.
She's a bit stronger now, and it's taken a little bit longer and a little bit more work to, get her to 100% fit. But in saying that, that's the race they set her for, and everything in between and over it is a bonus. And she just showed she's a 1.5 mile mare, and that's all there is to it.
Well, you're green when Joe was standing alongside her. You've really got to hand it to Sheila regarding Ethereal, though, haven't you?
She knows Ethereal very, very well, and Sheila's a very good horseman, has been all her life. And, she's got this mare peaked right on the day when she got the conditions to suit her. She got the length of race that suited her. She got her to the right racing weight right on the day. And that's a great training effort. Just while you can see it, she was trying to get a run between Tie the Knot and Universal Prince, and she just couldn't go quick enough to get the run. The run closed, so Scotty Seamer eases her across the heels of both horses. And this is shades of her her Queensland Oaks victory, where she came from the clouds in the last 50 metres just to nail them right on the line. Now, the owner, Peter Vella, before we go on, says he's enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
He favours retirement for her now.
Oh.
That's what he's leaning towards, retiring the mare. She's going to go back to New Zealand on Tuesday, apparently, to spell, and they'll make a decision on Wednesday about her future. Now, if they don't retire her, they're going to go. Their main aim is going to go to the UK for a race called the Yorkshire Oaks, which is run in mid-August in 2002. So, if she doesn't retire, that's where she's heading, apparently. So
200 metre mark, when you watch that replay again, you wouldn't want to be on it, would you? And when you know that Universal Prince has gone past it, Rain Gauge has got up on the inside and it dropped back, was still a couple of lengths behind.
To overcome Universal Prince in the finishing stages. I mean, we all know how devastating he is at the conclusion of a race. You wouldn't have thought that she could match him.
No, she's going to run a nice second, wouldn't she?
Watch the way she throws herself at the line. It's almost as though that mare knows where the winning post is.
She did
Not just yet. You watch her, the last two strides, she throws herself at the line.
She did it in her first Group 1 win in Queensland,
That's
exactly
right,
the same way.
Right on the post, you're right. Came from the clouds. I think we'll start firstly with Justin Sheehan aboard Universal Prince.
Yeah, no, not really disappointed, Wayne. She just a better horse on the day, beat him. Great mare. He let go with his customary acceleration and went straight past him, was going to gap him, I thought. And then just come to the end of his run about 158 and whacked away. I still thought he was home, but she just outgunned him at the end. But great effort.
His thoughts on Universal Prince?
Yeah, look, it was a great run, running second, no doubt. His next start will be in Hong Kong. He leaves on April the 8th, and he's going to race on the 21st of April, if everything goes all right, in Hong Kong. It's a 2,000 metre Group 1. And then he'll be off to the Singapore Gold Cup on May the 13th. So that's his path from now on.
Okay.
The other horses are just a bit too good for him now.
Now, you're riding Keys in the race coming up. What did Clary tell you about this one?
Nice filly, won the weight field. Got a very bad barrier. I don't know how he wants me to ride it. I haven't spoken to him yet.
Proudly brought to you by Amy. Vapor Trail with Scott Seamer aboard. Now, of course, his win on Ethereal was his 10th Group 1 this season.
And his 11th since June last year.
And there's still a fair bit to go.
I tell you what, the season doesn't end till August, and he could ride how many, we don't know. I wonder what the record is.
Endeavour to find out.
Yeah.
Now, there has been specking at long odds for Floria, number 9. It's around about the $20.
And they're off. And not a bad break either. And the early leader is Pirouette's, taken on by the roughy Capto, and moving up quickly Vapor Trail in company with Puzzle Book and Floria right there. Keys is wider out as Pirouette's goes backwards. Second, 3/4 to Moonflute. Second last is 60 seconds at Absolute as Moonflute, and still no variation as they come along the side of the track and link up with the 600 almost. Puzzle Book, 3/4 of a length on Floria. Vapor Trail parked over on the inside of Keys. Hosanna making some headway. Silk Veil Capto. Anytime Angel, Pirouette 60 seconds, and Moonflute. They're homeward bound now, and quickly Floria swept away from Puzzle Book. On the outside, Keys, Vapor Trail trying to get into the clear. Hosanna coming down the outer, and wider out on the track is 60 seconds, putting in her claim. Floria at the distance by the 200, taken on by Hosanna. It's Floria almost joined by Hosanna, Keys, and then 60 seconds. It's 60 seconds after Hosanna. Hosanna clinging on. Oh, photo here between Hosanna and 60 seconds, and a photo third between Vapor Trail and Keys. followed home then by Floria. A couple of lengths further off in the race was Pirouettes and then Capto, Anytime Angel, Silk Veil. Moon Flute has run second last, and Absolute in the field was Puzzle Book. Another tight finish.
And 60 Seconds has got up to beat Hosanna, with Keys in third place and Vapor Trail in fourth. So she's got up on the outside zone.
By annihilation. 360, $1.50, $1.50 and 180. 4, 1 and 3. And as Ian Craig said,
Big wind in the straight here, and maybe that's helping the horses who race with cover.
Yep. Quinella and Exacta and Trifecta Dividends are there. And 60 Seconds, well...
I tell you what, she's big, but by golly, yet another great finish. And so many of them yesterday came from the tail of the field.
Raced very fairly the track yesterday,
Yeah,
Graham. No horse came to the track yesterday with bigger wraps on it than her, and she justified them yesterday. She's only going to be even better in the Oaks, and the Caulfield Cup, of course, will be her main aim in the Spring Carnival, and a race like that suits her ideally. A good performance from Keys to finish in the placing there after encountering some bad luck last start, and Hosanna, a great effort as well.
I think Darren thought he was home here, Richard, when Hosanna raced to the lead. I was talking to him after the races, and he said, thought he'd had it, but...
Yeah, you wouldn't have thought that the other horse could have made up that much ground so quickly, but 60 Seconds just nailed Hosanna on the line. A lot of horses did come from the back yesterday, and I think a lot of it was to do with the wind. It was very windy, and they had a headwind in the straight, and maybe horses that were getting a bit of cover back in the field had a bit left at the end, and the horses that were up there racing into the wind as they straightened up were getting a little tired.
What was it getting home along the...
Depends how the race pans out early, and that's going to have to be Wayne's decision out there. You know, things change very quickly out there.
His Blue Diamond win, John, was tough, outstanding.
Yeah, I think it was. His sectionals, when you analyse them, were outstanding, and he had to get tired, and I don't believe that he was probably 100% on Diamond Day, as in he got away a little bit on us in the last Super, and his actual...
Don't say that. What are you going to tip?
I think I'll tip Choisier. I'll stick with him.
Oh, I've had something on Fatoon, number 9. And, yeah. All right. All systems go now for the Amy Golden Slipper for 2002. There's the market on the screen. And for his graphic call, here's Ian Craig.
And he's just walked in beautifully, Bella Spree. He's the tote favourite in New South Wales. He's down to 340 and 250. Choisier, number 2, 580 and 240. But in the ring, in the bookies ring, the favourite is clearly number 2, Choisier, in front of number 1, Bella Spree. And Victory Vane, the little filly from the south coast of New South Wales, has had very good support late. And she's third pick, and the starts. Racing in the Golden Slipper, and by golly, that was a good break. And Yell, the actual best to commence, away very quickly before too long. Up there is Fatoon, and going very, very quickly, Victory Vane, followed by Snowland. Bella Spree just behind the leaders, a length and a half to Brief Embrace. And then comes Callaway Gal as they sort themselves out, followed by Chuckle, a length and a quarter Italian Adventure, followed closely then by Dama de Noche, and then Choisier, who's well back on the run. And the same for Planchet. And then comes Whiskey on Ice, and last of all, Delollies. 600 out, and before too long from Victory Vane. Snowland third, Yell fourth from Brief Embrace. A length for Toon, followed by Bella Spree, Callaway Gal, Chuckle off the track from Dama de Noche, and then Italian Adventure, Planchet, and Choisier's on the extreme outside. Well in the straight in the slipper. Here's Victory Vane pouncing on the roughie before too long. Snowland, Yell, Brief Embrace, and then Bella Spree, Callaway Gal, Chuckle, Planchet, and Choisier. It's Victory Vane, the leader. Callaway Gal. Here's this man, Scott Seamer, on the Queenslander. Callaway Gal. She runs to Victory Vane, and she got there. What a magnificent win to Callaway Gal from Victory Vane, and it's a photo third, Planchet and Choisier. From Bella Spree, Yell, before too long, Brief Embrace, and then came 2 lengths away, Dama de Noche. Fatoon, Whiskey on Ice, followed by Snowland, Italian Adventure, Chuckle, and Delollies has finished a distant last. Callaway Gal, Scott Seamer, pouncing on Victory Vane within the shadows of the post.
Saying that man, Richard, that man,
Scotty Seamer. Can you believe it? Can you believe that Scott Seamer could win it again? She's done what I never thought she could do, Callaway Gal.
Let's go to John Tabber.
On that in trade. Well, you know, she always said she was one of the 2-year-olds that was on the way up. And she proved it today. She proved the 3 starts ago that Victory Vane beat her than last start. I knew she'd beat Victory Vane this start because she was on the way up.
Fantastic. Scotty, we've got Vossi. Straight to you, mate. Well done, Scotty Callaway.
Well, Simon, I'm with Bede Murray. What sort of day has Bede Murray had? Nutted in the BMW with Universal Prince second, and now with Victory Vane. Well, I've got to ask the obvious question. Did you think you were home then?
Yeah, I thought so. But, you know, she got to the front a little bit early, perhaps, you know, but I suppose that's how we had to ride her. But, you know, they did say they do come from behind.
Bede, when you sit back later tonight, how do you think you'll look back on Golden Slipper Day 2002?
Oh, well, it was a great day, but it could have been a little bit better.
I think that's an understatement. Could have been a lot better. Plans for Victory Vane?
She'll probably run in the size, I think. See how she pulls up.
Well, it's 2 seconds.
Saying to you, I just can't imagine how you feel.
No, it's unbelievable. I've always thought that, you know, she'll just peak today, and she has. Fabulous.
There's your very proud dad, the first bloke we saw after the race, and he is so thrilled.
No, it's great, yeah, it's fabulous, yeah. It's a dream for a trainer like me, you know, small team, and we had to give that little break, and I thought, I mean, only horse going to the race a bit fresh, and she was.
Now, Bruce, when you came to Canterbury to the night meeting, she blew the house down after that race. You'd been pretty easy on her, and she hadn't raced for a while either, had she?
No, she had only had 2 gallops of that run, and then the other day she had a pretty hard blow, about a quarter of an hour, and then she's back to herself again. So no, today she's spot on, quiet week, and kicked the zip into it.
Now, how far back?
Bruce, you were pretty confident she could win the race yesterday.
Yeah, I was. I said to you she'd run the first 4, and when Victory Vane beat us the first run, beat us by 2.5, and then we got down to 1 1/4. I said to you, if we can get that 1 1/4 again, we'll beat her, and that's what's happened. So it's worked out the best for us.
From the minute you first galloped her, she displayed special ability.
Yeah, after the second campaign, and they come in for 3 weeks, I always just sprint them up a furlong to see if they're going to be an early terrier or not a terrier. And she ran 11 seconds cruise, and a long time since I had a horse do that.
Yeah. John Tapp spoke to your father yesterday, Sid Brown. Great trainer in his own right, John, as you and I both know, and Bruce knows.
And she did it, so...
And the silly part is, she looks like she's going to run 1,400 metres.
We hope so. We'll find out in size, won't we?
Yeah, exactly. You've got to try now.
Oh, definitely, you know, and she's only a 2-year-old once, and she can win another group race. Well, you know, she's just getting so valuable for the owners and everybody.
There he is, Scott Seamer. You've known Scott a hell of a long time, Bruce. What is it that has elevated him to the incredible status that he has, you know, with all those Group 1 6?
Criticism very easily, you know. When I criticised him on his first ride before he rode it, and he come and he said, look, I have mucked it up a bit. But he learns. He's a jockey who'll learn, he'll copy styles, and I think it's the race when they're on a roll, they just roll the whole day, don't they?
Yeah. Well, have a look at this. Have a look at this roll of honour for him, for the Group 1 success. And this is all in the space of, what is it now, John?
11 months.
11 months.
Not that long, about 9 months.
Oh, since last June. That's right. Yeah. That's last June, that's right. The Queensland Oaks with Ethereal, Caulfield Cup, Melbourne Cup, McKinnon Stakes, the Orwa, Barcata, the Australian Guineas, BMW on Ethereal, and the Golden Slipper on Callaway Gal. And of course, not forgetting New Zealand there too. Auckland Cup, the Derby, the Oaks, and the International Stud Stakes. We've got Alf Matthews. Sorry, you're going to say?
Interested in racing for half a century. There's no doubt in my mind this man's rise is the most meteoric, the most spectacular,
and the
in
most
the history of Australian racing.
It's the most sustained run I've ever seen.
I mean, most champion jockeys, Richard, show those championship qualities from their apprentice days. It's a slow, gradual rise to stardom. This bloke has come on the scene like Halley's Comet.
Well, that's our cue.
That's our cue. I got across not too bad, you know. Travelled good. She's got such a great cruising speed. She probably, like, you're going good speed, but she's going so easy. Did you think you had the race won at all? Thought I was home, yeah. Thought I was home.
He's a marvellous horse, you know. Just if you draw a gate, it's just worth 2 lengths to you. Just had to give him that 2-length start, turn it for home, and he run an almighty race down the outside, but he's got to give away too much start.
The best part about it, Wayne, he's done everything right. He's usually a bit more fiery than what he is, and probably he's probably been a lot better in his manner since he's come up here, and he might have been probably telling us a little story that we couldn't see behind the frame, you know.
I had a beautiful run, Harry. I was sort of 3 deep, but had cover. I was in the first 6, had every hope. Nice filly, wait when she comes back next time.
A lot of concern about Bella Spree yesterday.
Yeah, he ran a gallant race, a gallant fifth, but the Golden Slipper dream for the Connections really turned into a nightmare yesterday. Wayne Treloar hauled into the stewards for causing interference at the 300-metre mark of the race. Bella Spree shifted out on Fatoon. As a result, he got fined a whopping $10,000 and has been outed for a month. That suspension begins on March 27. Tell you what, Bruce, when Bella Spree shifted out on Fatoon, it was lucky your horse wasn't interfered with either. She just managed to whisk her past.
Yeah, just got a very, very slight interference and maybe put her back a couple more lengths than we wanted to be, but she recovered and the result was what we wanted.
Richard, give us some news.
Yeah, just on Victory Vane. She apparently pulled up well and she'll be nominated for the Sires on Easter Monday, and if she... you can't get away either from the run of Choisir. Was enormous. He's
lost his front plate and he had the pads on yesterday too, so the impact of that happening would have been quite
He was
big.
way out of his ground, and you see him rattling home on the outside here without taking anything away from two very, very good fillies who Quinella the race. He was an enormous run, and you know, he put lie to the theory that he was over the top.
Yeah.
14, 15, 1600. So today's an interesting race. I'm hoping he can warrant backing him up in the Doncaster next week.
Now, I know you're not a superstitious type, but some for Chong Tong to win.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, John, I've got a theory about that. I'd rather a bloke coming off 5 wins.
Trainer, old comrade, as we head to the commentary box, and here is Ian Craig.
Incredible jockey, make it 5. And the racing, and that was another lovely start. Let's Compromise, one of the early leaders, taken on by Moa Man and Trillion Delight. Unsettling, Moa Man leads narrowly over Trillion Delight. Chong Tong is a handy third from Specialist. Close up Raymond as they work their way down the side of the course and come along, Old Comrade last, as they come along the side of the 600 marker. And here the leader is Moa Man, 3/4 of a length clear. Trillion Delight second, 2.5 Huge Demand. Chong Tong, followed by Specialist, easing to the outside. Then Let's Compromise. Make Me a Miracle, Raymond, No Mean City, Referral, Gordo and Old Comrade. Straightening up now, 3:50 to run, Moa Man. 2 clear on Huge Demand. Chong Tong, desperately ridden by Seema, and then Specialist, followed by Gordo, trying to get into the open. Let's Compromise, keeping him locked away. He's clear now, Gordo, but Moa Man still in front. They can't get him. Moa Man's going to lead all the way, getting home late. Make Me a Miracle, but Moa Man beat Make Me a Miracle at John Hawkes Quinella, and it's a John Hawkes trifecta because Gordo's got third, I'd reckon. Then Huge Demand, followed by Old Comrade, and then Referral and Trillion Delight, followed by, at the head of the others came Let's Compromise, Specialist right.
And he's just been a terrific money spinner and very honest.
He hasn't cost us a cent, John, and we've had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I had something on Old Comrade yesterday, just watching that race. Ooh, it was a good run. Nice Doncaster run, that
got
one.
no room at all in the straight. He drops 5.5 kilos in the Doncaster.
Yeah. No gaps open there, unlike Ukachaka.
I think he's in the Doncaster up to his ears.
Yeah, so do I after that.
Now, Chong Tong yesterday pulled up lame, Richard?
Yeah, I don't think, just watching him there, he wasn't stretching out properly in the straight, and I haven't...
Well, less than a minute to jump. Time for the Alistair Clark Race 4, Group 2 level. A Dash for Cash 210. Royal Code into $2.80.
Dash for Cash jumped fast, so did Royal Code. Ebony Knight getting back in the early stages. All carriages pushing on from out wide, and Roman Arch is going with him. As they put 200 metres astern now, and All Carriages working up on the outside and finds the lead ahead of Roman Arch and Dash for Cash on the inside third. They're followed Ebony Knight. All Carriage at the turn at the 800 by 2. Roman Arch is second. Royal Code is third on the outside, and Dash for Cash pocketed away on the inside from Mr. Trickster, Mr. Gregg, and Ebony Knight last of all. Up the side, All Carriage a length and a half clear. Roman Arch second. On the inside is Dash for Cash. Here's Mr. Trickster taking off at the 600 metre mark. Royal Code goes with him just on his inside, and then Ebony Knight and Mr. Gregg is last of all. Coming up to the turn now, and Roman Arch put the head in front of All Carriage on the inside, and Mr. Trickster now Dash for Cash getting away from the rail. Royal Code is on his outside. They're coming around the turn. Roman Arch from Mr. Trickster. Royal Code trying to keep Dash for Cash pocketed. There's a run coming for the grey. Mr. Trickster in front of Roman Arch. Royal Code and Dash for Cash is in behind them now, and Ebony Knight swabbing them from the back. But Royal Code's hit the lead near the line, and Royal Code's won it. Royal Code by 3/4. Ebony Knight might grab second from Mr. Trickster, Dash for Cash fourth, and then Roman Arch, All Carriage, and Mr. Gregg. Yeah, great ride by Stephen Arnold to get Royal Code home. Horse.
This could have a little bit of a bearing on the Doncaster here in Sydney next week, because Royal Code has sort of been headed that way, and so has Dash for Cash. And Dash for Cash just might...
You know, he goes out and he picks the grass and sort of struts around like he owns the place.
He's proven a problem at the barriers. Are you nervous about that on Saturday, and what sort of tactics will you do with it?
Great thrill, but to win that race is an extra thrill. We're in there trying anyway.
Good luck.
Thanks, Joe.
Yes.
Have put the shock tamer shoes or pads under his shoes. That may help him, you know. He's certainly a talented horse. He probably will race back, and that may suit the pattern here today, as we've seen that the front runners have been hard to keep going.
Here's Greg Miles for the Group 1 Australia Stakes.
Lights flash, racing, and down on the inside, Bomber Bill got away well. Blackbean, Showerheart and Toledo out the tail early. Fair Embrace, one of the first to bounce out, and she's up in the lead. Taimana just off them, followed then by Desert Sky. A little wider out on the course of Sports, and North Boy's caught deep too. He's about 4 wide at the turn at the 800 metre mark. They're followed by Regal, Kiss, Toledo, Blackbean and Showerheart last of all. Coming up the side now, and Fair Embrace is in front on the Australia Stakes. Sports very wide out, goes into second placing. Up there too is Desert Sky in the centre, a link to Taimana. North Boy's off the course. In behind them is Bomber Bill as they came up the side from Regal, Kiss, and they were followed then by Toledo and Showerheart. They're nearing the home turn field. Bunched Sports moved up to Fair Embrace. North Boy under a lot of pressure. Here's Showerheart coming around the outside, and Toledo comes with him. Bomber Bill trying to work into the clear as Desert Sky dropped out. Taimana's last, entering the straight. Fair Embrace being tackled by Toledo and Showerheart. Down the outside, Showerheart is after Toledo. Toledo in front of Showerheart, 100 to go. Toledo by a neck to Showerheart. Bomber Bill and North Boy. Toledo in front, and Toledo by a neck. Maybe Showerheart will get second. A great photo for the Miners. North Boy out wider and Bomber Bill over on the inside. And they were cleared a Regal, Kiss, Fair Embrace, Sports. And at the tail end of the field are Taimana and Desert Sky. And one to mark. And I think he has... Oh, yes. What a tragic end it is for Blackbean. He's broken down hopelessly, sadly. Toledo has won the Group 1 3AW Australia Stakes, and at his very first start at Moonee Valley. $48.50 and $10.70. A horse who's been sparingly raced over the years, a winner of a Newmarket handicap back last year, and this time round...
First start at Moonee Valley. You have to wait till he was an 8-year-old to have his first start at Moonee Valley?
Not really, Alf, just the way it panned out, you know, just... It rained a couple of times, he couldn't get here, but anyway, that's a good way to go.
He's come off a pretty ordinary...
Race went, yeah, it's good.
So where do you go now, to Brisbane?
Oh, wouldn't worry me if he retired. He's won $2 million.
Right, he's a very good horse, Russell. Congratulations, and I must say you've done an...
Unfortunately, Blackbean in that race broke down, which is very, very sad. I just realised just how good he had to be put down, so I hear. That is very, very sad.
Sad demise for a good old horse.
Oh, great horse. I love Blackbean. A big run there by North Boy, and also by another galloper there was Russell Cameron's getting through on the fence. Bomber Bill, I think it was. But Russell Cameron trained...
He came down here and stayed at Sid Brown's, Bruce Brown's father, who you know is a trainer in his own right.
Sid on air. He was very excited.
He's looked after it.
Yep.
And it came down with the people at Craigsley, brought it down in a special horse float.
For this upcoming event, the Sunline Stakes at Moonee Valley, and in the market price $9.50, and the favourite is Tickle My at about $3.50. Fern, $7.50. Interesting field here as we take you to Greg Miles.
On and off for most of her career. Tickle My jumped okay. Hasty back got out nicely. Tiffany's Best is looking for the lead. Sonachi jumped fast. Lady Marion's on the improve too. Tyroline dropped out to last. Market price next to last. Running up towards the 1250 metre mark now. Tiffany's Best working to the lead over Lady Marion. Sonachi on the inside and Hasty by 3.5 Lady Marion. Sonachi third, the inside a half to Hasty back. 2 lengths to It's Platonic, doing it hard. Still travelling out 3 wide. Spurn on the rail, Hula One to the centre. 3 lengths to Miss Penny Money. Calm Smites followed by Ina's Treasure. A neck to Tickle My, and then Noir Seer followed by Market Price and Tyroline. Up the side now, 650 metres to go. Tiffany's Best joined and headed by Lady Marion. Hasty back getting up to third, and then Sonachi. It's Platonic. Miss Penny Money with a run round the outside, a length to Spurn. She's followed by Tickle My Hula Wonder. Calm Smarts are caught in traffic on the inside. Ina's Treasure with a run, and Tyrolina's taking off. Lady Marion to the turn, led narrowly from Hasty back. It's Platonic. Miss Penny Money made a line of 4. Sonachi right behind them with Spurn, and then Tickle My into the straight. It's Platonic took the lead. Miss Penny Money after it, followed by Spurn running on, and Tickle My down the outside. It's Platonic narrowly. Tickle My storming home with Spurn in the middle. Spurn and Tickle My and Spurn, they hit the line. Oh, Spurn maybe a nose to Tickle My, and a great photo finish. It's Stephen Arnold again. It's Platonic right behind them, closely followed by Market Price, Sonachi, Lady Marion. Calm Smitzer didn't have any luck, and then Hasteback, Tyroline, Hula Wonder, followed by Miss Penny Money, and then Ina's Treasure towards the end in company with Marcia, and the early leader Tiffany's Best is last of all. Photo finish, Tickle My and Spurn, who's got through in the middle. It's a very, very close go. I just had a little inkling to the inside, but let's see. Yet 9's got it. Spurn, Stephen Arnold has won them all today. It is his greatest day at the races, and he's got one to come in the Group 2. Bridal Hill, he could clean sweep the lot. 9, 3 and 7 in the Sunline Stakes. The boy from Alice Springs, who has come down to make Melbourne a base some years ago now, is cleaning up Moonee Valley. Spurn starting racing at Moonee Valley. 937, race 6. The next...
And here, a great pleasure to talk to you, Roch.
Thank you.
And he gets my vote as the most enthusiastic barracker of the current racing season, Shadow. You should have seen it. It was a sight to behold.
Yeah, I would have liked this.
Behind
Moonee Valley.
Behind the barrier for the Moonee Valley Oaks there. Let's take a last look at the prices. Elegant Fashion on 380, Gold Lottie 940, 990 for Lilo Lil, Moon Dragon 370 in favourite, Carla Keys on Twitition, where she can get a crack at them. She hasn't had that luck in the last few starts, but today...
It's better now. Racing, and Moon Dragon threw her head in the air. She jumped just fairly again. Lilo Lil, Carla Keys are first to bounce out. Away fast, Carnabelle, Damasceno, Elegant Fashion, jump well. She's trying to slot over somewhere. Gold Lottie, Moon Dragon and Night Chaser push up on her inside, so she eases again, trying to slot in on the one of the favoured runners. Out of the straight, Carla Keys is the leader to the 6th. Carla Keys made the turn at the 800, led by 3 lengths. Carnabelle in second placing, Lilo Lil is third, Damasceno fourth the outside, followed by New Miller, Night Chaser. Out wider then is Gold Lottie, followed by Moon Dragon, Tally Thunder. Elegant Fashion outside Moon Dragon now, and then came Black Rock Cottage and Munro together, followed by Bridal Hill and Periphery. Past the school now at the 550, Carla Keys came back and Damasceno moved up to join her. Carnabelle is gone. Here's Gold Lottie and Bridal Hill making strong runs together, coming after these leaders. They've got away then to Moon Dragon, and then New Miller and Black Rock Cottage, followed by Munro. It's Damasceno in front. Elegant Fashion is after her, followed by Gold Lottie, and then Carla Keys into the straight. The New Zealand filly, Damasceno in front. Elegant Fashion, the only danger. 100 to go now, and Elegant Fashion moved up to Damasceno. 5 lengths to Gold Lottie, but Elegant Fashion gets the upper hand and draws away. Elegant Fashion wins again from Damasceno second. 5 lengths to Gold Lottie from Lolo Lil, Moon Dragon, Periphery, Bridal Hill, and then Tally Thunder, Carla Keys, Black Rock College, New Miller, Munro. Night Chaser second last, and Carnabelle is last of all. Elegant Fashion makes it 3 in a row at 3 different Victorian metropolitan tracks, gives Greg Childs his 3rd victory in the race, and a big Group 2 win for Tony McAvoy. He was unlucky not to have won. An outstanding mare, could make a case for her being unbeaten really, but she has won 4 of her 7 and been placed in the other 2. Okay, next.
Outstanding filly, Elegant Fashion. And Tony, I didn't think it had a very good run in transit, and it still managed to beat them, because I thought it was a pretty dashing ride by Nashville Willa to try and get away on Damashima.
Yes, well, our filly got further back than I thought she would be, Alf, and she was wide, albeit with cover, and to Damashina's credit, she was wide without cover throughout. So, but our filly ran super.
She's still got that little habit of wanting to lay in. She straightened up last start when she won. Yesterday, she wanted to get in again.
Yes, she doesn't hang it all through the race. It's just when she gets under pressure. She, but...
Well, they transfer...
Melbourne and Caulfield Cup winning mare Ethereal has been officially retired. Owner Peter Vella made the decision after a meeting with trainer Sheila Laxon and jockey Scott Seamer today. The 4-year-old's career ends with 8 wins from 21 starts, netting $4.75 million.
Her form's been good before that. She's, I think, the mile and a quarter suitor, and you know, she's. I think the form out of the race is very good because she finished in front of Hosanna, and Hosanna come out and just got beat the other day in the Arrowfield. So her run was good.
Hot riff in race 2. Got a touch of class, this filly.
Yeah, she's not.
Okay. Adrian Knox Stakes 2000.
Certainly has. All right. Now, Ian Craig is our caller. This is the Adrian Knox Stakes. Okay.
Adrian Knox Stakes, 2,000 metres, and they're up and running this time. Thunder Cup a little slowly away with Duchess Talaria. Pirouette's one of the best to bounce. Honey Rider's up looking for the lead, and so's Pretty Woman and Clothild, followed by Moon Flute. A length 850, and Clothild shows the way. A length Honey Rider. Pirouette's is third from Pretty Woman in the middle, and out off the track is Thunder Cup. 2.5 then coming Pixies. Moon Flute, Heads of Agreement. Republic Lass a little awkwardly placed inside Factional, and wider Anytime Angel. 2 to Duchess Talaria, and 3/4 to Letitia. 500 out as they come to the corner, and Clothilda leads the way. 3 parts of a length clear on Honey Rider as they set sail for the judge, and then comes Pretty Woman. Pirouette's locked away. Moon Flute trying to get into the clear. So too Republic Lass, and then Factional over the rise and down to the 250, and here is Moon Flute descending upon Clothilda and Honey Rider, but Republic Lass got the run and quickly went whoosh and put the issue beyond doubt. Factional to second, followed by Moon Flute, but Republic Lass well above average, and she'll bolt in. Republic Lass has won it effortlessly from Factional and Moon Flute, then Clothilda, followed by Pirouette's Honey Rider, Pretty Woman, Letitia, Anytime Angel, Duchess Talaria, Thunder Cup, Pixies, and Absolute, Heads of Agreement. She's very, very good, this. Number 7, Republic Lass. Boy, when Glenn Boss got her into the open, didn't she sprint? Number 7, Republic at 570, Exacta 780, Trifecta 5190, and the first 4, 190.
The Oaks right up early?
I think so. She's got the New Zealand filly that won last week. Obviously going to be very hard to beat, but this filly can relax and she can sprint. So I'm very confident she'll run 2400.
Yeah. Well bred by
Kenny Ladd.
Kenny Ladd and Dean Fleming. Bred it.
And the New Zealand filly 60 Seconds, who we saw win last Saturday at Rosehill, the Arrowfield Stakes. There are some pretty big raps on 60 Seconds.
There are, but there's another horse that you've forgotten about, and that's my ride, Elegant Fashion.
Oh, yes.
She won the Moonee Valley Oaks.
Very well too.
Yeah, and so it's going to be a good race next week. There's 3 good horses in it.
So she's coming up?
Yeah, she's here now. She's here now, Elegant
good.
Fashion.
I've got to say about Republic Lass, she only the 2 sprint races, the Galaxy and the Sapphire, which are 11 and 1200 metres, ran a faster last 600. So for her in a 2,000 metre race to rip off a last 600 from where she was back in the field, they run 35 for the last 600. She's broken 35. That's a pretty special effort in a 2,000 metre race. So I've got to give her a rap, Republic Lass. I like it. I really think
Panel,
she's
as we
smart.
continue to watch, can you possibly provide the Quinella? Mind you are flying at the moment. Anything could happen.
I'd like to think so, John, but Pillinger, he's got the record on the board, and you know, I'd like to think we can beat him, but it'll be a good contest between...
Race number 2, the Sapphire Stakes, as we take it to Ian Craig.
And the racing, and just a little slowly away, another Misty Com here, and Micah's Pride and Okanui wide out onto Hot River, the joint leaders. Fair Embraces moving up into third posse, and Spinning Hill nice and handy, followed by another Misty, and then a gap. Okanui in front, 3/4 Fair Embrace, Hot Riff third, another Misty is travelling fourth, followed by Micah's Pride, and then Com here, Spinning Hill, Gentle Genius. 2 lengths further away as Pfizer being passed on the inside by Sri Lanka Shook, and a couple to Tempest Morn in company with Natty Maroon coming to the corner. corner now. 500 left to go, and Fair Embrace swept to the lead from Okanui. Another Misty the Grey. Hot Riff with a baldy face, fourth on the outside, and two to Micah's Pride. Steve Arnold calling upon the favourite, Spinning Hill, and then Come Here and Sri Lanka, but Fair Embrace slipped into overdrive and down to the 200. Fair Embrace put 3 lengths now. Hot Riff, Spinning Hill is starting to motor. Fair Embrace is running off the track. Hot Riff and Spinning Hill trying hard to pick her up. Fair Embrace is still in front, getting close to the line. She'll win. Fair Embrace ran off the track, but just beat Spinning Hill, I'd say, with Hot Riff third, and then Shook followed at the head of the others by Micah's Pride Pfizer, and then Sri Lanka Nanny Maroon. Further away was Another Misty, Gentle Genius, Okanui, Tempest Morn, and Come Here near enough to last. Race record established last year, or the it's got here, race record Spinning Hill established on the 22nd of the 4th 00. Yeah, that's right, because it wasn't run last year, the Sapphire. So Spinning Hill wasn't quite able to...
This looks a good race for him.
Well, he's lovely placed and good draw, top jockey, and the horse is fit.
So you'll get a major shock if he's not there somewhere.
I would be disappointed if he's not right there at the finish, that's for sure.
Thanks, Bruce. Thanks for talking to us. Bruce Marsh, trainer of Hale in the Chairman's Handicap.
And the best back...
And they're off and racing. A nice level line it was too, and the early leader is Manor Hill. Then Gillespie, Asia, Padfoot, Charlie and Karasi at the 550, and Manor Hill is coming back quickly. And as they commence this long run round the Randwick Bend, it's Manor Hill, a length and a half clear on Swiss Echo. Plea, Armstrong is being called upon now. Repeater is next. Hale, Jay Cassidy is bailed away on the well-back Commodity. Then Steel Phoenix, Home Wrecker and Royal Train. Manor Hill has still something in the locker, and it's the 200 Manor Hill about to be grabbed, in fact headed by the Victorian Home Wrecker, and wide out is Henderson Bay, and then Ebony Honor. Here's Henderson Bay coming home at the rate of knots. Away he goes, and Henderson Bay, a brilliant winner from Home Wrecker. Photo for third, Ebony Honor and Asia, and then Armstrong, Hale, followed by Grampian's Plea, Spirit of last couple.
Again proves that statement is very, very true. Praise indeed, Lord Highbrow, many, many others. Now, you bought this horse as a tried horse in New Zealand, Neville?
Yes, John, that's right. I've had him a couple of years, but he has been a horse that has been slow to come up. But you sort of hoping he was going to run a good race this afternoon to actually run in the Sydney Cup. So it's been good.
Now, he put in a long...
Cummings and the stable with Newstonoff in this afternoon's AJC Derby, a horse that is expected to improve.
Yeah, there's been comments there from Anthony. You do have pictures back, so keep your fingers crossed, folks, at Oakbank as we check the market on the Heroic. Pillaging's $1.90. He's very short.
Very short Pillaging, but he did win.
Say about Stratica, you're getting a little bit overs there for Stratica. All right, the William Inglis Heroic Championship, $1 million up for grabs here in overall prize money as we take you to Ian Craig.
Racing in the Heroic, and Delusional a little slowly away, and the favourite didn't jump all that quickly. Pillaging and Stratica and T-Bar, the early leaders, with Fairy Bright Tear. The 900, and the leader is now T-Bar, a length and a half. Fairy Bright Tear, Emerging Star around, Recruiting, followed by Majorette. Little more than a length's gap to Pillaging, and then Stratica and half Hennessy, Delusional. Then Gourmet Paradise, Architrave, and the joint tail end is a High Maintenance in company with Je Desire. 550 to run, and in the all bronze colours, the rider on this Canberra Galloper T-Bar has it a length and a half. An Emerging Star and Fairy Bright Tear, Recruiting on the rails. Pillaging badly posied away at the moment. Oliver trying to get him into the clear. He is now Pillaging if he's good enough, and down to the 220 marker, and T-Bar in front, but Pillaging is pouncing, and so too half Hennessy. The favourite and the second favourite will battle it out. Ollie goes for the whip on Pillaging. Half Hennessy has drawn level. Pillaging the inside, and half Hennessy. Pillaging won't give in. He's got to hang on and win it. Pillaging, a half head to half Hennessy. Recruiting third, then Delusional with High Maintenance. A gap to T-Bar, then Stratica, followed by Majorette, Je Desire, Emerging Star, Gourmet. He's a gutsy horse, this fella. Being trained by Lee Friedman. He's done a great job with him, Lee. He's been up for quite some time, Pillaging, and he didn't jump all that brilliantly. I was a little worried coming to the point of the corner when Damien was, the brakes went horse and jockey's way, coming down to the 275, and he sprinted very quickly, pillaging. Half Hennessy went with him, but this gutsy little Melburnian
today just got there.
Yeah, there was a few anxious moments with the protest. There wasn't much in it, but I felt that he just stargazed and waited a little bit for the other horse when he came to him, and I felt that we held him, you know, enough over the line to for us to hold the race.
The second thing is that when you see pillaging right on the post, and it was only the last 4 strides, I think it was, that he actually moved out and brushed Half Hennessy, and he's just about to do it here. He comes out and they just brush there, and just turns Half Hennessy fractionally, but the reason I think pillaging does that, you see he's pricking one ear, and that usually means the horse has sighted something, and he's just, that's very unusual for a horse in a driving finish to be pricking one ear. And he's, I think he just saw something and shied a little bit and brushed Half Hennessy.
Might have been you.
Well, might have been.
You were just
I was yelling on the inside of the course. He might have been listening to me. But that's not a bad thought. It might.
So that's a decision that will be made. This is 10 years to the day that these colours were carried by the Lee Friedman trained naturalism to win the AJC Derby.
They had to survive a protest that day as well.
Yeah, so, but this one, I mean, I've had bigger buffeting on a dance floor than pillaging delivered yesterday.
Can you imagine? I feel sorry for the connections of Half Hennessy. They probably think they should have won the race, but that's the way racing goes.
Half Hennessy was more dismayed.
And he's kept nice and fresh for this. I think he'll run well.
What are you seeing as the hardest to beat?
Well, I mean, it depends on the speed of the race, you know. I mean, if they don't go along too hard, well, you know, horses like Play Shaker probably got some hope, but it just depends on the pace, Joe, I think.
Father Graham, thank you. Moving in, this is the AJC Derby, and sponsored by San Miguel. And punters on track think it's a 2-horse race.
There, and really you would think the race rests with the first 4 in betting there. Mr. Coango here?
He will be here. He's hosting a set Group 1 level, and here we have it, the AJC Australian Derby for the year 2000.
The horse out behind the starting stalls. Carnegie Express shooting for 7 straight, and the Sydney Triple Crown. The War, the smartest out. Don Eduardo jumped nicely, so did Valedict and Carnegie Express. Followed closely by Pentastic, then Grey Song, My Telly, Navy Blue, Foxborough. Ustinov next to last, and Absolute is Another Warrior. As they start the run out of the straight, and one of the 2 maidens, Ustinov and Another Warrior. The Derby field swings onto the High Street side at the 950, and Valedict in front from My Telly. Carnegie Express, 2.5 lengths then coming on the inside. Don Eduardo from Prince of War and Foxborough. Don Eduardo just heading to drop the bit of fraction there. 1.5 to Pentastic, similar margin to Grey Song. And then comes Ustinov, Navy Blue next to last, Another Warrior's last. But in a lightning move, Jimmy Cassidy's taken off on the favourite. And at the 600, a daring ride. And Carnegie Express races 3, My Telly and Valedict. Then Prince of War followed at the head of the others next by Pentastic. And then Don Eduardo, who's a long way back from Grey Song. Straightening up in the Derby. Carnegie Express, 2.5 Valedict. Pentastic is running home solidly, then My Telly. And Don Eduardo is next, followed by Grey Song. Jimbo goes for the whip on Carnegie Express. Likewise treble on the Pentastic, and Don Eduardo. Here he comes. The True Blood on the outside. Don Eduardo after Carnegie Express. Don Eduardo and Carnegie Express. And Don Eduardo wins the Derby. A great performance by this magnificent individual. Don Eduardo from Carnegie Express, Pentastic, and then Grey Song. Followed home by Navy Blue, Ustinov, My Telly, Another Warrior. Foxborough in company with Valedict, and near enough to the tail of the field, Prince of War. And that is a magnificent performance by a cost to the owners of about 3 million Australian, and he is well on the way to recouping that purchase price. Number 3, Don Eduardo, ridden by Damien Oliver, has been able to huge amount of money spent on him, beating the Gay Waterhouse trained Carnegie Express. Gay, of course, under bidder for Don Eduardo at the sales. And Carnegie Express, many will say Jimmy Cassidy went too soon. Many will say that he went before acceptances on Carnegie Express. He was run down on the line by a head. Number 4, Third Pentastic.
by Pentar and looked to flip. With a price tag of 2.9 million Australian, everybody's been under pressure. Lee Friedman, Damien Oliver, and certainly Eduardo Codjuanco.
Yes, when we bought the colt, I always thought he was a nice colt. He was expensive, but I always thought if he performed the way we thought he would hopefully perform, he'd be the cheapest horse I ever bought.
An exciting race, he gave win, but I'll bet you've never got a bigger buzz in your life than this one today.
Yeah, that's right up there with the best. Right up there with the best. There was so much anticipation about the race. There was so much importance in my own mind attached to it because of the value of the horse and the expectations we placed on the horse. And to pull it off, it's one of my greatest thrills.
It's a dream come true, it must be. Lee, we've all been guilty of...
No, they've tried so hard to get this horse to concentrate. I was talking to Lee during the week and he said, we're just working and working on getting him to concentrate for the whole week. He's had this plan for this horse. And what it means for this horse stud value-wise is just, you know, inexplicable. It's boundless, unfathomable what he's worth now.
Yep. Mate, straightening for home. Gosh, do you think Jim Cassidy's intent was to get going, nick off, and pinch an unassailable break on Don Eduardo?
Well, I'm sure he looked around, Jim, and he saw Don Eduardo on the inside behind a few horses and thought, let's go, I'll catch him flat-footed in a traffic jam, and he just about did. It was a brilliant tactical ride of Jim's, but Don Eduardo just stayed a little better than Carnegie Express did.
Well, I think
we win a big one in Sydney, and it was very satisfying. Great to win the Derby up here.
Were you confident in the run?
Yeah, my horse travelled really good. I could see quite keenly, and I don't think Jimmy had much choice but to go when he did. I had to probably give away a couple of lengths coming to the turn just to make sure I got out in the clear, and you know, he was probably spotting them a good 6 lengths after we straightened, and but I knew my horse would keep coming at the end, whereas the other horse might be a little bit suspect at the end, and I think he just outstayed him in the end.
When Jimmy made that mid-race...
Courteous man, by the way.
But Eduardo has put his money up. He's got a lot of horses in work. He sponsored the carnival, and look, he's an intelligent guy. You don't get to be that successful without being that intelligent as well.
A generous man too, free beer for an hour after the race, which would have cost some $250,000.
He's a Filipino singo.
He is. Free beer for life
Richard,
for the freedmen.
would be the worth of Don Eduardo now as a stallion prospect? Some $20 million they're touting.
I don't know, Joe. It's certainly in excess of what was paid for him. A long way in excess. So he's looking like a good deal at the moment, but... I don't know, 20 million, who knows? It just depends on what he's worth on the international stage, because in Australia, there's probably not a horse worth 20 million. But if you look at a horse like Danehill that stands here, his value would be, who knows, 100 million. So, I don't know.
Richard, Lee revealed... Lee revealed this morning...
Was it a pre-race plan to take off early like that?
No, it wasn't. The tempo sort of steadied up pretty noticeably going to the 1,000, and I sort of had no option, but I took the option to come out and go forward. Whether it was the right one or wrong one, that's a decision I made. But I thought his run was terrific.
Did he want to over-race a little bit in the race?
Oh, only when they really slackened off at the 1,000, and I mean to say, I had no alternative but to come out. I couldn't go up the inside and put myself in a suicide spot, so it was a decision I took, and I'll stick by it.
Were you happy when Jim took off mid-race?
Well, he had to do something quite dramatic because there was so little between the two horses. We knew there'd only be a hair's breadth in the final furlong. There was not a lot of speed. The horse that his brother was riding was coming back a little bit to his face. Don Eduardo was able to have the fence, came from barrier 1. We were just in a position where I said to Jimmy, if you think you have to go forward, don't be scared to. Because he's got a great turn of foot, and if he'd won it by the half head, everyone would say, what a genius. You're either the genius or the mug.
Will he now press onto the Sydney?
Yeah, Euston off, but let's just get back to Carnegie Express. Very interesting to hear what Gay Waterhouse had to say there. What would you say, Greg?
I thought Jimmy did the right thing. The horse was over-racing it, clearly you can see that, and they were going slower as they went further into the race. I probably would have, I mean, it's easy to say, but I would have gone a bit earlier. Jimmy did the right thing. I mean, the horse might not have sprinted as good.
I think the point being, who did you want to be on at the 200-metre mark? Don Eduardo or Carnegie Express? You'd want to be on Carnegie Express.
Yeah.
Well, I was with you in the host position, and you thought Don Eduardo was gone, didn't you? You said to me, you said, oh,
When he turned,
he's pinched this.
When he turned in front, still travelling on the bit, and Don Eduardo was 6 lengths off in traffic, I thought, it's all over now. You can't get him from there. You know?
An enormous effort by Carnegie Express to get so narrowly beaten while it didn't keep the punters happy at all. I've never heard jeering like it for a long time over the fence when the horse came back to scale. You know, you can look at the replay and in hindsight, you know, he, I guess, had to do what he did. There was no other option, was there? The horse was
He did the right thing, in my mind. He did the right thing. I mean, you know, he was just... The horse was pulling. They were going slower. He did the right thing, and
they ran it past the
battle getting down to that. Battle getting down to that.
A bit of a battle. I've done it all right. I just took it every day by day, and it's down. I'm fine now.
You don't have much problem with your weight, full stop, do you?
No, not really.
Well, Ebony Knight is a horse you haven't ridden before. Do you know much about his history?
Embrace, Pillaging and Don Eduardo. 2 for Lee, Friedman, Pillaging and Don Eduardo. And of course, the Carnegie Express, Jimmy must have thought the horse was over racing and pulling a little too fiercely. He decided to let him go at about the 800 at the barrier and past fit to run. Big plunge. 800 at the barrier and past fit to run. Big plunge here on Perno. Trained by Mike Maroney, written springtime. Only a couple to come up here for the Galaxy, sponsored by San Miguel. After the boss of San Miguel won the Derby, free beer was on tap for an hour, wasn't it, Mike? An hour here at Randwick. Great start, and 8-8's actually first start, headed by Mystigic. Donna Natalia is going up very quickly with National Saint and Century Kid, and then Clay Shaker. Followed closely as they sort themselves out by Perno, and then Centre Fire Shags Padstow. Over on the inside, next Scenic Peak from Bradshaw Polygram, and the Big Chillers last of all. 6:50 left to go, Mystigic the leader now. From Donna Natalia, a length to Clay Shaker, then Century Kid, Shags, Perno. Accelerator's gone through nearer to the inside, followed by 8-8's drifting back. Then Centre Fire, followed by Padstow, and then Scenic Peak, National Saint, Polygram, the Big Chill, and Bradshaw homeward bound. And Mystigic is the leader, a length Century Kid, Clay Shaker the rails, followed by Accelerator called upon, a couple of lengths to Perno, who's under the whip, and then comes 8-8's the Big Chill's a mile away. They race to the 150, and Mystigic is in front. A half to 3/4 Century Kid, who can't get to Mystigic. The rider pulls the whip on Mystigic. It's safely holding Century Kid, and the Galaxy goes to Mystigic. And it's a happy jock too. Mystigic beats Century Kid and Accelerator from Bradshaw Polygram. Then Scenic Peak, followed home by Centre Fire Clay Shaker. At the head of the others then was Perno, National Saint, and then the Big Chill, followed up by 8-8's Padstow and Donna Natalia, and last Shags. Glenn Boss, he's got a great association with Mystigic, and has come from third in the Newmarket, and second prior to that market, and second prior to that in the Oakley Plate, prior to that second in the Lightning at Flemington, prior to that second in the Challenge at Warwick Farm, to win here the San Miguel Galaxy. Numbers $17.70. The time 1:02.78 is
in the race. Scenic Peak and Perno both were very well tried on course, but Joe failed to flatter.
Yeah, Perno was disappointing yesterday. I think many were expecting her to race very well fresh, but she didn't fire at the top level. All honours with the winner, Mystigic. A beautiful ride by Glenn Boss. Century Kid showed some improvement yesterday. He went off the boil after his campaign in Hong Kong, but he looks like he's bigger and better. And Accelerator, who we haven't seen racing since September last year. A long break's obviously done him the world of good, and he raced very well fresh yesterday.
I thought he was going to win at the top of the straight, Accelerator, just after he straightened up the rise. I thought Accelerator would win. And then he just, because it was his first up run, he just might have peaked on his run with 50 metres to go, you know, and he did grind to the line well. It was a good run.
There was another terrific run in that race, that grey horse, Polygram.
Polygram, yeah. He was back. Credit to Mystigic. Oh, what a day's racing it was yesterday at Randwick. We'll have a look at the...
Meanwhile, Australasia's champion mare, Sunline, will be trying to rewrite the record books this weekend when she tries to win her second Doncaster handicap at Randwick.
Randwick's fabled mile has broken many hearts. For Sunline, whose heart is bigger than most, it's just another stretch of turf that lies between the parade and the post.
We've only had 2 starts this year and won both of them in Group 1, so I can't see any reason why she can't keep going.
She's even drawn an inside barrier, and yet leading bookie Cole Tidy will give you 7-2. He reckons the younger horses are too well weighted.
I personally suspect that one of the horses around the 51 kilos will be winning the race. I'm just not getting carried away with Sunline.
It seems some of Australia's...
Doncaster, the Champions Mile. It's due in about 24 minutes from now. And here we go with the ratings. Sunline 1, a rating special ahead of 14 Hey Pronto, 4 Old Comrade, 8 Dash for Cash. And let's have a look at the market for you. It's open favourite here, Sunline. Richard?
Well, at 340, Sunline, I mean, why wouldn't you get on her? She's the champion mare, best I've ever seen, and probably the best you've seen too, Graham. 340 in from 350, Shogun Lodge at 14, 24 about Crawl, 17 Old Comrade, that looks like great value. Final Fantasy at 30. Go over the page to a Mission 56, and let's see Defier. Defier, a great run last start. Drawn the 16 alley, come in from $10 to $9.90. And 19 about Gordo, who seems to always get back and get run on, but never seems to quite make it. Uga Chukka at $10 there. Probably a little bit of unders there. She might get out in the market a bit, Graham.
Yeah, okay. Kilos, a lot of Germany's given permission to do so.
That's unusual that they gave you permission to carry that much over the 50 kilos, but there are so few jockeys who can ride 50 kilos. I guess John Hawkes didn't really have much choice.
All right, well, let's get the latest on the Doncaster, the third of the Group 1 races today, as we take you to Ian Craig.
But in the ring, Sunline, right, thank you, as our home audience joins us. Thanks, Graham. Sunline, the medium of very heavy support here, and she runs the firm favourite in the ring. El Mirada is there, racing in the Doncaster, a beautiful start, and the mighty mare Sunline straight to the lead from Huge Demand. Gordo is right there with Ha Ha. The man is with the leading bracket of horses, then Dash for Cash. Hosanna's not very far away, followed by Uga Chukka, and a mile back out of its ground Crawl with Make Me a Miracle. They swing the first corner of the Doncaster, and Sunline leads the way. 3/4 Ha Ha, Huge Demand, Dash for Cash, the fence, then the man. Gordo Defier, followed by Hosanna, then Uga Chukka, Shogun Lodge, Wonder Weasel will around Hey Pronto, and then El Mirada wider out. A gap to Ebony Knight, Old Comrade off the track, Shot of Thunder. Then Final Fantasy over on the rails, a Mission Crawl second last, and the first reservers last, Make Me a Miracle. 600 out, just under that in the Doncaster, coming to the corner, and Sunline, a length and a half, Ha Ha, 2.5 Dash for Cash, a length then to Huge Demand, Hosanna, Gordo, then the man Defier, followed by Hey Pronto, and Shogun Lodge has gone up on the inside as they top the rise, and the leader is the great Sunline. She's a length on Ha Ha, Dash for Cash, Huge Demand. Childs extending his break on Sunline. Randwick has erupted. Here's Defier and Shogun Lodge. Sunline is still in front. Shogun Lodge trying to get her. Sunline is hanging on. Shogun Lodge lunged. Sunline or Shogun Lodge. This is very, very close. Defier third, and then El Mirada followed by Hey Pronto, Dash for Cash, a Mission. Uga Chukka, Hosanna followed by Gordo, and then came at the head of the others Ebony Knight. Further off in the field then was Weasel Will Make Me a Miracle, Huge Demand, Crawl, Old Comrade. Ha Ha dropped out of it, followed by the man Shot of Thunder, and Final Fantasy tailed right off, and this is a terrific finish. I don't know. Sunline and Shogun Lodge. And the free shot is a ground shot which indicates the inside, and she's won it. She's got there, Sunline. Number 1, Sunline, ridden by Greg Childs, has lasted to win the Doncaster Handicap. Glenn Boss on Shogun Lodge, I saw him stride past the post. He shot the arm up, and he thought that he'd got the money, but the nose of Sunline's went down right on the line, and Sunline has taken it out. She's topped the $10 million, and she's won her second Doncaster Handicap. 30 wins from 43 starts. Greg Childs for Trevor.
Congratulations, win number 30, her second Doncaster. I've run out of superlative. Have you got any new ones?
No, I haven't, no. She's just very, very fantastic mare altogether. The best one that we've seen around.
Is that as big a thrill as she's given you? And I know that's a hell of a statement.
It is, definitely. It's right up there with the best of them. Yeah.
Shogun Lodge has been a mighty horse. In fact, he beat her on one other occasion here at Weight for Age. That's right. And gosh, he made it interesting.
He certainly did, and actually, just looking at they look very, very close.
Did you think she found the lead fairly easily, Trevor?
She did today, yeah. With the big weight, though, it's hard to try and call
on resources, but she did a fantastic job. There's talk of retirement soon. Well, who wants to retire while she keeps going like that? It's a good, I'm sure I wouldn't be. Trevor McKee, part owner.
It's the finishes in each of the big races.
That finish in the Doncaster, the finish in the Derby, the finish in the Heroic, the best sprinter in the Land Mystegic winning the Galaxy. What more can this day produce? The greatest day in racing perhaps I've ever seen.
It promised so much, they've delivered.
Certainly has. The track's ready.
Shadow.
I have not seen reaction like this from a crowd I don't think I've ever seen it. This crowd is on its feet just cheering this champion mare back to scale, perhaps the last time they'll see her. And she's taken all before her, she's done it all. There's nothing left to do for her, Graham.
No, there's not. And it's occasions like this that make you feel so lucky to be in the business we're in.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't it?
Days like this you dream about.
Yeah.
Slow down a little and dictate. You know, she's a horse that if something wanted to go fast, like they did in the Coolmore, we could sit second. Yeah. But nothing was going that fast to lead me, so I was able to dictate the race, and she's there to be beaten. You know, we're in front, she's there to be run down, and they just can't beat her.
That's been the story of her whole...
Heard the roar from 46,873 racegoers at Randwick for Sunline's sunniest Saturday, but the roar at Caulfield almost matched it. She's an international champion, Sunline. The records that she established yesterday, only the second mare to win 2 Doncasters, the first mare for 70 years to carry 58 kilos. She sailed past $10 million. It was her 12th Group 1 win. She's bearing down on Kingston Town. The list goes on and on. That was her greatest win, surely.
And you know what? She ain't finished yet.
Okay. And again, you know, had to be a team effort.
Bossy punched the air here straight after. See that? He obviously thought he'd won. Were you pretty confident you had got there?
This is the way it worked or happened. As we hit the line, well, just before that, I could feel Sunline surge. I could feel it she just surged that last bit. When we hit the line, I thought, yeah, I'd just hold on. But then Bossy stood up in the irons and punched the air, and I thought maybe I didn't, but no, I think I still did. And then we went around and we were looking for the clerk of the course. We're looking for Simon Marshall, both of us. Bossy's out there and Simon's Sunline. And then Bossy said, "You're kidding." And then, "Hold on," he said. Simon Marshall said, hold on, they're going for the print." And yeah, it was Sunline. So he was gutted and I was elated.
I'm sure he was.
Do you think Sunline, when you said she surged on the line, that was when Shogun Lodge made that lunge at her? Do you think she sensed him coming before you did?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, look, I'm just working away on it, trying to get where's that line, and you know, maybe look, I think it's more that Shogun Lodge was close to us. Yeah. She could sense it, and she just lifted. Yeah. I just kept hitting her, and yeah, it was just a great result.
Fair to say, really, with the more...
You know, when she was a 5-year-old, she travelled to Hong Kong. She won the Cox Plate. She travelled to Hong Kong. She travelled to Dubai. You couldn't do any more than what she was doing when she was a 5-year-old. Now she's a 6-year-old. She's only had this preparation, 3 starts, all in Group 1s, and won them all. I mean, maybe he's right. Yeah. Maybe she is getting better. Yeah. So
the word freak is most appropriate. Yeah. You know, a very
to be front and dominating the race, controlling the race. She ran her first half in 46.78. That's low flying. I mean, how did she have a surge left at the finish after breaking so many hearts so early?
That's right, Keith. The way the race was developing, we were going fairly hard early to get into our position. Ha-Ha came up on my outside, and I didn't want Ha-Ha to take the lead, and I don't think Jimmy really wanted the lead anyhow. But the way the tempo was set early, it was always going to be a fairly fast run race. I was able to slow down the tempo in the middle stages and then ask for a final surge in the straight. She was in front all the way. She's there to be beaten, and they just couldn't beat her.
Was that her best win, Greg?
I always think the Cox Plate, winning by 7.5 lengths, that was a great thrill. But this, Hong Kong, where she won by a nose against an international lineup, and this is just another one of those great wins.
She's put everybody almost on this...
I'm enjoying the moment, because I know it'll come to her.
Oh, mate, I give him the best ride of my whole life, that horse, and I honestly thought I made a fool of myself going past the post, probably thinking, But honestly, to all the people, I honestly thought I'd won the race, you know. But to her credit, when I got to her, she just surged. She found a little bit more. I mean, it's been spoken about for months, but the handicapper has just let her win the race, to be quite honest.
He went terrific. I got stuck behind Horse of the Man, and he dropped off pretty much at the half mile, which didn't help me much. I really want something to go on a bit further, but my guys just really kept on fighting. Yeah, he won a tremendous race. He never saw anywhere near the fence, you know, from that outside barrier, and he just kept on coming. It's a really game effort. Great race. I think I was first. I was first beat when Charles let the accelerator down. She's a freak, isn't she? A nice race.
Yep, there were, as always, some terrific runs in the race behind the winner. Defier's run, never better than 3 and 4 deep and 5 deep on the home turn. El Marada, crack of a run. El Marada, the conqueror of Sunline, ran a bottle of a race too. It was coming home well over the closing stages too. But
good runs.
Shogun
that
Lodge.
Always happens in these big miles.
Does,
if you look behind the winner, you'll always find a heap of good runs. Shad, I think it's nice for all of us to let the imagination...
About Shogun Lodge. Now, I've lost count of the number of Group 1s. It's 11, isn't it? Oh, there it is on your screen now. 11 Group 1 seconds to...
What a fabulous Shogun Lodge. Shogun Lodge. I mean, to get to that level, even though he's run a lot of seconds, and you know, some people might draw some conclusions from that he's run a lot of seconds in Group 1s, but to get to that level and to do what he did yesterday, he's a fabulous racehorse. You'd love to have him in your stable because every Group 1 you send him out, he's just as likely to run first or second in. Now, I know he's only won 3 Group 1s, and he's won 5 Group 2s
and 2 Group 3s.
Look, any horse that runs 10 Group 1 seconds, he's only that far off winning 10 of them too. So I wouldn't be disappointed with his effort. I thought he ran super. And look, she's out there to be beaten. She's facing the breeze the whole way. And, you know, if you don't beat her, you can't make excuses. But you've noted, Tappy, he did get held up for just a half a stride.
On the heels of Ha Ha. If Ha Ha could have kicked for 20 metres further...
Here he is just running up behind them.
He'd have caught them there.
He's running up behind them on the fence there in the green. Ha-Ha's in the blue right in front of him. And he just there had to ease off her heels. And it, you know, who knows, might have cost him the win. But look, nothing taken away from Sunline. She does it all on her own. You don't beat her, you don't have excuses.
What about Bossie's comment, her handicapper?
Well, everyone said she got thrown in light. I guess the doubters of the handicapper have been somewhat vindicated by the fact that she won. But she only won narrowly, so you know the handicapper won't be too upset about it.
His greatest stakes winner, Tie the Knot, has been retired. Trainer Guy Walter says the decision was made while the champion is still sound, adding that at almost 8 years of age is catching up with the horse. 13 of Tie the Knot's 21 race wins were Group 1 crowns, with career prize money totalling more than $6 million.
So 2 riderless runners behind the 1,400 metres here at the moment. Victory Vane and, of course, Stks. It's been a great race over the years. It has provided an odd upset. Viscount won it last year, Assertive Lad. Prior to that, a Lion, Alf Encounter, Merlin, Octagonal, St. Covet, Trista Love, Burst, Terse, Rhythmic Charm, Reganza, Comely Girl, Snippets, Diamond Shower, Wonga Prince. We got back to 1985. Victory Prince at big odds in 84, beat Red Anchor. Keepers, Mighty Manitou, Full on Aces, Shabisk, Zephyr Zip, Karaman, Luskin Star, Sadler Silk and Dubai Ice a little slowly away. And Snowland jumped with gusto and straight to the lead goes Snowland from Tom Carews, followed closely by Callaway Gal. Moving up very quickly is Planchet, right up with the leaders today. Schwazier is wider out and Athol North is in Carews the leader. Schwazier's gone into second posse. Snowland is back to third now, followed closely by Callaway Gal, and then comes Planchet on the outside. 2.5 then to smash around Athol North, Dubai Ice on the outside of Sadler Silk, and Stks in company with Victory Vane of the last pair. In the sires, they've got 600 to go, and Schwazier to the lead now. About 3/4 of a length on Snowland. 2 lengths Tom Carews, Callaway Gal, Planchet at 2 further back, Athelnoth, and then Smash, Sadler Silk, Dubai Ice, Victory Vane and Stks. Entering the stretch and up the rise they come. Again Snowland joining Schwazier, being pushed along. 1.5 lengths to Planchet. Victory Vane is joining in, and then Callaway Gal and Sadler Silk. But Schwazier broke clear at the 150. Schwazier in front. Here's Victory Vane, this magnificent little filly. Victory Vane raced away. She's going to make amends for a runners-up position in the slipper, and well done, Victory Vane. Victory Vane from a very tight finish. Choisir and Planchet. Then Snowland with Smash. Callaway Gal. Followed home then by Taka. Sadler's Silk. Good margin off. Due by Ice. And the last two, Tom Carews at Apple Knot. What a brilliant little filly. And what a great training effort by Bede Murray. Well, I tell you what, if ever any trainer in the world is now breathing a sigh of relief, it would be Bede. Well documented. Second in the slipper. Second in the BMW. Second in the heroic for Prince Philly. Trained, as I say, by Bede Murray, and Dan Beasley aboard. Okay, as our radio audience link in with us.
Due for a change of luck there, 3 seconds, and you know, it's a real relief today to come out a winner.
Just to have her in the race today suggests she obviously came through the Golden Slipper without too many problems.
Come through in great style. She never left a note the night after the slipper. She cleaned it, licked the bin out all the week. You know, she's had quite solid racing. We haven't had to do a real lot with her. Just, you know, keep her...
Continues to impress. Can it be argued, while Callaway Gal won the slipper, that Victory Vane is the best 2-year-old filly racing in Australia?
I think a couple of things come out of that, Joe. I think there was a couple of very impatient jockeys early in the race. They went along a bit quick. I think Danny Beasley learned a lot by getting beat in the Golden Slipper. He thought he got there a bit too soon in the slipper. It wasn't no fault of his own. He had an awkward draw, got there pretty quickly. He rode her quietly, and it just all played into his hands there on Monday in the size. So that really deserved it for Bede Murray. And she's a pretty tough little filly too, Victory Vane. Done a very, very good job. They're contemplating whether they'll run her in the Champagne this Saturday too. So while she's going well, why not?
I think she might be 2-year-old of the year. I think running second in the slipper, winning the size. I mean, Callaway Gal, good effort, but she turned the tables on Callaway Gal. Yeah. I think she had pretty consistent performances. So,
well, she's had 2 victories over Callaway Gal. She did beat her.
She's also won the Silver Slipper.
Sure.
That's right. And the Magic Night.
She's a truly good 2-year-old.
Yeah.
Interesting. Money's come a bit for Class from Tears Royal, then Sent Home and Weasel Will, 10, 6, 4 and 2. Market fancies look this way. There'll be only one at single figure odds. You'll see her over the page. Tears Royal's a $10 chance and Sunline $1.40. The great mare is number 10, and she...
Now, Steve, the big question, how's she going to back up after winning last Saturday's Doncaster in such awesome fashion?
She seems fine, Joe. You know, we're pretty happy with her through the week, so, you know, she's got a pretty good backup record, and all things being equal, she'll go well again.
He looks happy today.
To move in. Maybe the last glimpse that we have here in Sydney of seeing the mighty mare. Dispatch. Sunline is up looking for the lead now and going with a Mower Man, and little between Sunline and Mower Man, a length away in the third position as they settle fully into stride, Sent Home. El Mirada's not far away, and the same for Tears Royal, Oscar Warrior, Kingsgate. Then Let's Compromise, second last as they sort themselves out, Dress Circle, and Weasel Will is last. Well, it's Mower Man in front, and heading to the first corner, Mower Man 3/4 of a length to a length and a half, Sunline. 2 to Sent Home, a little later. The speed now, and coming along to the halfway in the all-aged at the 800, and Mower Man out a length and 3/4 on Sunline, 2 lengths to Sent Home, then a gap to El Mirada, Tears Royal, Kingsgate, Oscar Warriors over nearer to the inside, 1 off same now, followed by Let's Compromise, next to last is Dress Circle, and 2 lengths to Weasel Will, coming to the corner, and Mower Man is the leader, a length on Sunline, getting that wee bit closer now, 2.5 to Sent Home, at a length to Kingsgate, and then Tears Royal, but straightening up, and Sunline cantered to the lead, and down to the 250, Sunline accelerating here. She's answering every urge of her rider, Greg Childs. What affinity between horse and rider. She's put 6-7 lengths, Kingsgate, Sent Home, but here she is, Sunline. She now tops 11 million in winning her 13th Group 1. Sunline, we salute you. Second Home, Sent Home. Third, Dress Circle, and then Kingsgate, Mower Man, Oscar Warrior, followed up by El Mirada, Tears Royal, Let's Compromise, and last was Weasel Will. Well, I feel so honoured to be in a position here in Sydney to watch and broadcast that mare. It really is something that I will behold till the last of my days. I boy, oh boy, oh boy. What a horse.
She's so proud all the time. She's just wonderful.
Another incredible performance today. They didn't make it easy for her in the early stages of the race, trying to shunt her out wide.
No, but she proves that she's the best, and she always comes through for us, and that's all that matters.
Can you believe it? All this success, it just continues.
Well, no, I can't. I have to pinch myself some days to think that I look after such a wonderful horse, and I'm just very, very lucky.
In a nutshell, performance.
Oh, fantastic, Joe. It's just one of those things that you dream of, of placing away from them again.
They applied the pressure early.
Applied the pressure, which I thought that they probably would do, but she accounted for it as soon as they turned for home, and as you could all see, she won like a real champion should do.
She slayed them again. Everybody wants to ask this question over and over. Could this be the last time we see her in Sydney, or after this campaign have you decided that she'll push on?
I would say she'll definitely come up again next spring anyway. So how far we go from there, I don't know, but we'll
great news.
Definitely be back if we can.
Great, Trevor. Well, you heard it, and I'm very...
Have a look at her as she parades. The crowd applauds. Hey, she has not loafed in Wait for Age company. Very handy gallop. 1:34.38. So, true Group 1 star. A true group.
She's just so good. Today I was a little concerned. She just wasn't as keen going past the 600, but the run the other day just topped her off for this. She travelled so well and sprinted when I asked her to.
How did she feel when she topped the rise? She looked awesome.
Felt great, yeah. How it looked is how it felt. Awesome. Yeah, she's something special.
Wasn't it? And as Rich said, she'd have to be considered strongly for Horse of the Year, and dare I say it, her name would be strongly mentioned for the next batch of inductees into the Hall of Fame, which comes up in June as well. Okay, of course...
She's just got an attitude. She's better on the... I think it was the shoulder.
Yeah, I think it was on the shoulder, John.
Oh, it was unbelievable, you know. Claire just give her a pat. She just loves her so much, you know.
Yeah.
But most good, I'm not saying all good mares, but most good mares have got a bit of an attitude. Emancipation's one that comes to mind. Probably the best two mares that I've ever seen, Emancipation and Sunline, and they both had a bit of attitude. But then you get good mares, like Shea Bisque, I used to ride her. She had a terrific attitude. Bounding Away, I think, was very, very sensible, but I think the real good ones have got that bit of mongrel in them.
Yeah. Guy, what's your perspective, Sunline?
Well, just the same as everyone else, Joe. What a wonderful mare she is. Incredibly tough, and the fact that she's this age and still got such a great will to win, she's amazing mare. The best ever, probably.
It could be argued now, Richard, that she might be the best we've seen. I mean, you know, we're talking about, in more recent years, Tulloch for me, Kingston Town.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you think what she's done...
Yeah, I think she's right up there with Kingston Town, and I never saw Tulloch, so Kingston Town was the best I'd ever seen. John, you've seen more good horses than I have. Where do you place her?
She's the best mare I've ever seen, but by a furlong.
Yeah.
But, mate, she will never supplant Kingston Town in my scrapbook.
Oh, fair enough.
Okay. Joe, you're the fan of her. You're the leader.
Points about this mare's form and her record is the fact that because of her racing style, either being in front or on the pace, she never strikes interference. I'd love to look right back through her record, and I'll bet you could write the steward's comments regarding racing incidents on the back of a postage stamp. Can you imagine how many dollars and how many wins that's been worth to her? Never getting into scrimmages, never running into trouble.
Apart from, though, the Cox Plate, that was a fairly famous scrimmage she was involved in, wasn't it?
Oh, in the last 20 metres.
You know,
I mean, you could argue that.
You're right. Early in the race, she's got so much gate speed, and she either, if they don't leave her alone in front, she leads and wins the race. And like yesterday, she had a leader there for her. It was put on for her with Noah Man there. She just took the set and showed what great acceleration she's got at the end of a race if she can be saved up.
Wayne, she wouldn't know what a check is.
Well, not early in a race anyway.
You know.
There she is coming back to scale. No wonder you were searching for superlatives, Tappy, because she's now won 13 Group 1 races, only one short of Kingston Town. First horse in Australasia to top 11 million, but probably she's best described in plain talk because she's not a cotton wool champion. She's entered for races. She's never scratched. She turns up to race. she races and she wins. So she's tough and she's durable and she's just the best mare that we've ever seen. There's no doubt about that. And what a statement to make when we've had Ethereal in this very season, when the Caulfield Cup, the Melbourne Cup, the Queensland Oaks and the BMW.
Okay, well, Kings ahead of Keys, a pickup ride for Darren Beeban, Vapor Trail and Damasceno, 1, 4, 5 and 6. Market looks this way. We should hear what Greg Childs thinks about his chances aboard the top rater.
Elegant Fashion, the Melbourne filly. Can she beat 60?
The time-honoured Group 1 AJC Australian Oaks, they're saying this is the best Oaks for several years. Head-to-head go the Kiwi Star, 60 seconds, the emerging star Republic Lass, and Elegant Fashion, the star from Melbourne. Let's go trackside. The big crowd watches on.
Number 2, 60 seconds. Racing in the Oaks, Anytime Angel just a little bit slowly away. Other than that, it was a very good line. Elegant Fashion is right up there on the outside with Damasceno, closer in Vapor Trail. Not far away is Keys, then Republic Lass on the inside of Factional, wider Periphery, and then comes 60 seconds over on the inside of Pirouettes. 950 and the Oaks field is starting to bunch just a fraction, and Damasceno a length and a half. Elegant Fashion over on the rails, Vapor Trail. Then Keys, followed by Republic Lass, a gap, Factional, Periphery. 60 seconds over on the rails, a little awkwardly posied from Pirouettes, and 2.5 to Anytime Angel. Coming down to the 600 in the Oaks, and Damasceno, a length and a half to 2, Elegant Fashion, pushed along. Third is Vapor Trail from Keys, Republic Lass is locked away. Then Periphery, Factional, followed at the head of the others by 60 seconds. Who's got 2 behind her, Pirouettes and Anytime Angel, homeward bound in the Oaks, and Damasceno, a length and a half clear. Keys on the outside is coming home with Elegant Fashion, and then Vapor Trail, followed by Republic Lass, and 60 seconds is a long way back. Keys hits the front. Here's Republic Lass. Oh, what a turn of foot. Republic Lass put pay to her rivals, and in one heck of a burst raced away from Elegant Fashion, and what a win to Republic Lass from Elegant Fashion. Photo third, Keys Damasceno in 60 seconds, followed by Anytime Angel, Factional, Periphery, and then came Vapor Trail. Last to complete the course was Pirouettes, and how good is this? Republic Lass, what a wonderful turn of foot.
Republic Lass, and she had to bullock her way out in time.
Yes, my word, she did. She didn't have it all her own way, Joe, but she really sprinted quickly as she did last week, and she's got that ability to go to sleep in a race and then quicken when asked to, and she's got the acceleration of a really good filly, and she's proved that today.
It's tough.
My word, she's tough. Yes, she's just got... Thank you very much.
Guy Walter, and Republic Lass has rapidly emerged on the scene, and she was an awesome winner of this afternoon's AJC Australian Oaks.
Time to grow and mature. She was always going to be a late developer in the spring and then a really developed filly in the autumn. Full credit to Guy, he's realised that and taken her along the right steps and give her a great preparation for this race, and and it's amazing the turn of foot she shows. I mean, her sectionals are fantastic.
Was she travelling sweetly throughout the run?
She's the best rider in the race. Unbelievable. In the month, the turnaround, she used to be a bit not ratty, but a little bit unsure about herself, what she was doing in the race. Wouldn't race inside horses, did a lot wrong. But the turnaround of the month has been quite remarkable, and haven't seen a horse turn around like that in a short time. But full credit, that goes all back to Guy. He's given her that preparation to sort of overcome those steps, and you see the...
Is now proven she was looking for further. So we didn't run her in the Flight Stakes. We turned her out early, which was probably a very good move. And as she's matured and the races have got longer, she's come into her own.
This turn of foot she's got at the end of a race is quite awesome, isn't it?
It is, Joe, my word. And she's got that ability to relax, that's the important thing.
Guy, she's by canny lad, and there are not too many canny lads running 1.5 miles.
No, well, a number of people have said that, because she's out of an American...
Be a chance of kicking back and maybe getting a place.
You got flattened at the top of the rise?
Oh, the winner's just pulled out and just gone straight under my neck. I was just going to come around him and do what he did. He's just flattened me.
How do you reckon you were travelling in comparison at the time?
I was going every bit as good.
So you reckon you should have won the race?
Well, we won't know now. Well, we didn't get a crack at it.
Sure. That might have been some overreaction there, I think, from the 60 seconds camp. Sure, there was inconvenience. Brian said in one press report that he was poleaxed, Wayne. I wouldn't say he was poleaxed.
No, as I tried to say before, like she likes to run into a race, and she never really got the chance to do that. She was just starting to motor. There was a run there for one horse, and Glenn Boss had the opportunity to take it on Republic. That's had a better turn of foot to get there. He come out, and she did get stopped in the tracks, and you can't do that, especially in big races, on horses at a bit one pace.
You'd have done exactly the same thing.
I would have done exactly the same thing.
Exactly.
And have done on several occasions.
And I have done. I've spent a lot of time on the sideline, but I won a lot of races as well.
I just think this is interesting when you get to see the side-on shot, which will come up here. Now, Brian York said he was travelling every bit as good. Well, he wasn't travelling, as you said, Guy, well enough to keep your horse in a pocket. And when you see it come up, he never takes any ground off you either. I mean, it's just the gap is maintained or even gets bigger.
Oh, well, now, focusing on the future of this horse, without wanting to take too much of the gloss off the win yesterday, Guy, with that business that went on, the Cup's now the main aim for her in the spring?
I'd say so, Joe. She's demonstrated yesterday that she can stay, and the very good thing about her is that she's going to be turn 4 having only had 11 starts. So you would hope that there's further improvement in her. She's going to strengthen up, and
1 1/4 by 1 1/4 and neck 3rd and 4th. Correct weight has just gone through on text. Still awaiting it to come through on the semaphore, but it's come through on text. So 4, 11, 7 and 5. Weight is confirmed. 1:23.9 the winning time. Well, this is an interesting race. Will it be Gay Waterhouses with her 3 horses at the top of 2? Let's return to the track.
And spurred on one at last year, Brendan B. So that seems to be the late summation of the Frank Packer Plate. Arlington Road, $3. Racing this time. Jumped in a nice even line, and the Arc one of the best out. Arlington Road is shooting up looking for the lead and gets it with ease, and circling Arlington Road leads Valedict. Ben Menang going into 3rd posse, followed by Prosecution around Wet Lips on a high Arlington Road. And as they race onto the far corner near the 1100, and Arlington Road pilots the field in the Packer Plate. A length and 3/4 on Ben Menang, 4 to Valedict and 2 Prosecution. Another 2 lengths to the side of the track, and they're at the 800 now, and it's Arlington Road, a couple of lengths on Ben Menang, and 6 to Valedict. Then the Victorian, one of them, Prosecution from Wet Lips, the Arc on a high. 1 Navy Blue, Bust Up, Sakan Damon, Solitary Soldier. 3rd last Total Rush, 2nd last Mr. Dad and Dave, and Moon Floaters last as they come around the corner. And Arlington Road backed off the map, railing nicely, straightens up a length and a half. Ben Menang, similar margin on a high. Prosecution followed by Valedict, and then Navy Blue. Wet Lips and a couple, Sakan Damon. Arlington Road comes down to the distance at the 200 marker. A length on a high, starting to take ground off the favourite, and 2 to Prosecution. Muntz shaking up Arlington Road. On a high, can't get near Arlington Road, and Arlington Road is racing away and lands some huge bets to win the Packer Plate. Arlington Road all the way from on a high, and Navy Blue. Then Prosecution, Solitary Soldier, followed home by Sakan Damon. A gap then to Wet Lips, Mr. Dad and Dave, Valedict, Ben Menang, Total Rush, Moon Flute the Arc, and Bust Up has finished last. Well, they didn't muck around. The bigger punters wanted to back 1 and 1 only, as we mentioned earlier, and their judgment was 100% correct. Straight after the jump, $68 neat. The winning time was 2:02.42.
I don't know if Arlington Road's quite in the Carnegie Express or Don Eduardo class yet, but he's closing fast. I think he's the horse to beat in the 3-year-old races in Brisbane, and after that I reckon he'll go to Melbourne for the spring. They broke 60 seconds for the first 1,000 metres, which is absolutely flying, and I was waiting for him to cave in the straight, and except the only thing that happened is those behind him caved in.
He was very happy that I did, because every time I tip him, he runs last, so I'm not tipping him. If you like him, don't let me put you off him, because he will be suited by the speed and the tempo of this race, but he can hang in a little bit, which does put me off him a touch. Of the others, Mr. Goldflight does represent fair value and looks very good with the blinkers on. For the
remains firm. Omens and Zoe have eased slightly. Out to $11 is Gentle Genius. Now, good support comes for the 3rd of the John Hawkes runners, Agile. Now into 7.
anticipation. That was a great start. Paris Heartbeat, one of the best out. Tempest Morn from a wide alley got out quickly. Omens moving forward, and then Snow Hero. Gentle Genius is nice and handy as they settle, followed by Fate Gallant, and then Veloci and Agile, followed by very wide out Miss Zoe. Sybil driving up between horses, followed by Hose Parker at the 800, and Omens leads the way. Out a length and a half on Tempest Morn, followed closely by Paris Heartbeat. Snow Hero on its outside, and then a gap to Agile. Gentle Genius, Fate Gallant, a length to Sybil. Call Me Lily, Veloci. Hosanna badly placed over on the rails from Miss Zoe, and Ticklemeyer's Absolute as they pack just a wee bit coming to the corner. 500 left to go, and Omen shows the way. A neck on the top weight, Tempest Morn. Snow Hero 3 deep third. Paris Heartbeat is bailed in behind them. The rider going up on the inside. There's a run for it now. Sybil's coming down the outside at the 250, and Sybil hits the front. Snow Hero to second. Here's Miss Zoe putting in the long strides, and a gap to Call Me Lily. Sybil in front. Miss Zoe is challenging very, very decisively, and quickly Miss Zoe shook off Sybil, and away goes Miss Zoe. Miss Zoe wins it easily. Second Sybil, third Call Me Lily, Gentle Genius fourth. Then Tickle My, Snow Hero, followed by Fate Gallant, Veloci, Agile, Paris Heartbeat, and then Hosanna, followed by Omens, and Absolute was Tempest Morn. And what a lucky late ride for Karen McAvoy on number 8, Miss Zoe.
Yeah, lovely ride it was. That is the latest in news on Randwick, and just the winning time to be confirmed. First of all, we do have...
Wasn't out of a turn.
Ran a bottler last start in the Queen of the Turf.
Yeah, she did, and I was pretty confident today. Just a little bit of luck, and I knew she'd be right there.
Pushes their earnings up to near the $500,000 mark now.
Yes, that's right. I bought her for $15,000, so she's been a good buy.
She's always shown a lot of... It's a Group 2 race. It's very hard doing when you're putting all the hard work in, and she's been a bridesmaid quite often, Miss Zoe, but she deserved that win yesterday.
She races so much better when she's held up and has one sprint at them, but they went so hard early yesterday. The 3 place getters come from the rear, and it suited Miss Zoe right down the ground. The call...
Its most recent start. It goes around at $28, which is remarkable. Last start winner of the Fernleague.
And they're about to move in for this prestigious race, and the favourite on New South Wales Tab Limited, number 6 Victory Vane, 240-160. In front of number 2 at 330-210, that's Schwazia. No pads under the Plessy from the inside, bounced out in front. Salome up looking for the lead, and we'll get there now. Pillaging is running third, followed by Redwood Falls, Schwazia, and Victory Vane wide and last, not far off Salome. And as they travel 300 metres, Salome in front, 3/4 of a length on Pillaging. He's moving forward on Victory Vane. She's still trapped out very, very wide from half Hennessy on the inside of Schwazia. To the side at the halfway at the 800, and Victory Vane. Dan Beasley slows the speed noticeably, and Victory Vane 3/4 to a length on Pillaging, 1.5 to Salome, and 3/4 on her outside is Schwazia. Little more than a length a half Hennessy, and 3/4 Redwood Falls. They're in pairs almost coming to the turn in the Champagne, and Victory Vane shows out 3/4 of a length clear on Pillaging. A length away third is Salome, followed by Schwazia, who made the turn just a little awkwardly. He's putting in his claim now, as is Redwood Falls, and half Hennessy's last in the stretch, and they're attacking Victory Vane. Schwazia goes to Victory Vane from Pillaging and Redwood Falls. Victory Vane's not done with yet. Victory Vane on the inside fighting back. She again takes a lead of a neck or so. Coming late is half Hennessy. Victory Vane in front. She's going to do it again. She has. Victory Vane concludes her autumn campaign with a magnificent win in the Champagne. Victory Vane from half Hennessy, Schwazia, Pillaging, Redwood Falls and Salome. Oh, isn't she an absolute doll? On top of the sires, a close second in the Slipper, a win in the Magic Night, a win in the Sweet Embrace, a win in the Silver Slipper. Can she do any more? She half...
Sire, based down the south coast, Mr. Prospector horse, and scenes of great happiness in the mounting yard.
Haven't seen like a 2-year-old like her for so long, you know. Like she's the best 2-year-old filly we've probably seen for 10 years. She's just done everything bar win the Slipper, and we only missed that by a head. So like, credit to B, credit to Paul. She's just super, just something special. Happy to be associated with her. Just super, just something special. Super, just something special. Happy to be associated with her.
And full of adrenaline, you mastered the star jump today.
Yeah, no, a bit better effort than last week.
Yeah, it was a heady ride, wasn't it, Wayne?
It was. I thought that was a Group 1 ride of the carnival, to be truthful. Danny's just proven he's gone to that extra step now. I think getting beaten the Golden Slipper taught him a little bit of a lesson. He learned a lot about this filly as well. He was really upset with himself. He thought he hit the front a bit too soon in the slipper. It was no fault of his own. He had an awkward barrier. And he just knows that she's a filly that's got a good turn of foot when he can hold her up and use her the way. He had to use a split-second decision yesterday. He was in an awkward spot. You could see that the horses in front of him didn't want to lead, so he's let slip, gone around, and she's just come straight back under him. And he's got so much confidence in the filly, and a good training effort by B. Murray to keep her up as long as she has.
Yeah, you talk about split-second decisions. That's really what it's all about with jockeys, isn't it?
Oh, for sure. And as I was saying, with Bede, like a lot of people were saying, well, she's only a lightly framed filly. Will she keep going? Well, she's done it all. She started winning on that 870 track on the inside track there, Kenny, didn't she? So we all just doubted her. I've never tipped her on top in my life, and I've gone with Twazir again yesterday.
Yeah, she was,
he pulled a little bit hard in the race. Whether he can run the mile or not, I don't know, but he's had a lot of problems. And what a good horse Half Hennessy, the stablemate, is. He's potentially the best horse in the race.
I've been going to races a long while, Wayne, but this filly's got under my guard. I've underrated her all along. I've kept thinking, oh, you know, there's a limit to her. I think he'd be hard on himself if he thought he cost her the slipper. I thought he rode her very well there. The alley beat her in the slipper. There's a beat so many horses. He's ridden her well in the size and the Champagne. Why she wins is she's got that ticker, and you know you can't. It's like a fighter. It's the amount of the size of the fight in the dog that counts, not the size of the dog in the fight. Yeah. And that's the same with her. She just keeps finding that bit. She's tricked me all along. I remember backing her at Warwick. Their dinner suits now to go to Crown Casino in August for the Horses of the Year, and she'll get all the fillies prizes. And very well deserved. She's clearly the best two-year-old in Australia.
You're not alone in
Up to the right.
Thanks for talking to us, Royce.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Royce Dowling, quietly confident about the chances of Soldier Blue in this afternoon's Sydney Cup.
Okay, Joe, an interesting character in the background during that interview. Richard Pegham, well known in Sydney circles. He was a part owner of Brew, who won a Melbourne Cup, and he's a part owner of Dress Circle. So he's hoping to win two of our biggest Cup races.
Nelson will be the last to come up here. And a wide open market it is for the Schweppes Sydney Cup of 2002, and they're all set, ready to go. And they're off this time, and Meet the Stars just a little slowly away. Plea got out well, and so did Ebony Honor, and wider out Mr. Nelson. Not far away next is Dress Circle, and punching up on the inside as they settle down Cavallo Bruno. Now, Mr. Nelson is persevering for the lead, and down past the 600 on the first occasion, Mr. Nelson from Dress Circle, Ebony Honor. In fourth, Posse Royal Treen. Hale is next, followed closely by Pentastic, and then Cavallo Bruno inside at Henderson Bay. 2.5 lengths further back, the grey Armstrong. Plea is next. Mr. Prudent has got three behind it. Home Wrecker, Asia and Conair as they come to the side now. And they're bunching up with about 850 to run. And the despised Ruffy has gone to the lead, narrowly Meet the Stars, but Star of the Seas joins it. Ebony Honor's third. Fourth Posse is Hale. Fifth is Dress Circle. Royal Train, Soldier Blue. Mr. Nelson, Pentastic, Henderson Bay. A length and a half, Mr. Prudent, last year's winner. Followed by Spirit of Westbury. Please dropped off. Lottery Prize the rails. And then Asia. And well back in the field is Home Wrecker. Henderson Bay's gone to the extreme outside with Mr. Prudent as they straighten up now. Where Hale goes after Star of the Seas. Into the 250. Henderson Bay and Mr. Prudent joining in. Henderson Bay and Mr. Prudent a race clear. Spirit of Westbury to third, and then Asia. It's Henderson Bay the inside from Mr. Prudent and Spirit of Westbury. Henderson Bay, Mr. Prudent. Henderson Bay's got his head in front. Mr. Prudent lunges at him. Henderson Bay, I think, a nostril to Mr. Prudent. A very tight finish. Third Posse to Spirit of Westbury, followed by Cavallo Bruno on the outside. Next in the run was Asia, followed home by Pentastic Hale. And then came Mr. Nelson, Home Wrecker, further off Dress Circle, Plea. And then Lottery Prize, Meet the Stars, Ebony Honor, Star of the Seas, followed home by Omni Cup of 2002. Terrific finish in the Cup. Henderson Bay on the inside, and Mr. Prudent have hit it absolutely locked together.
Went up, Murphy?
Yeah, actually, I thought the other horse had won it, but, you know, because he had the outside, but anyway, he's hung on.
Good. A fighting win.
Was great.
This is the race you've always wanted to win with him?
Oh, well, yeah, but, you know, hopefully he has a future ahead of him, so we'll push on anyway, see what happens.
Bring on the Brisbane Cup now, eh?
No, I think he'll spell. Melbourne.
Is this one of your most exciting?
He was always going to be hard to beat yesterday. What a thrilling finish in the race. Mr. Prudent, a gallant effort to run second, to just get pipped in his attempt to win back-to-back Sydney Cups. And George Hanlon will, you know, you saw him in defeat yesterday. That was inspirational.
Yeah, marvellous training effort by both the winning and the second horse there. And George Hanlon, would have been great to see him win another Sydney Cup. Corey Brown did tell me the horse did pull a bit during the run, and he said that just did spoil his chances a bit. But Neville McBurney's always had such a good opinion of Henderson Bay. And what about the run of Fantastic? Was never out of trouble. He just got stood in his head 3 times and still had the cheek to get home run about 5th or 6th.
He got checked at the 600, the turn, and the 300-metre mark, and I think Brett Preble's got plenty to say about that.
Okay, well, yeah, it'd be interesting to hear what he does.
The place just went straight on my neck where running was mine. They just took my running, and at the end of the day, I'm walking right running about 8th or 9th and should have won, and can't protest, can't do a thing about it. That's the way racing is, isn't it? No, he didn't stay. I mean, he had a perfect trip.
Brett Preble made out that he was in a stock car derby, and he was. He got flattened all the way down the straight. It was the run of the race, Fantastic. I don't want to give free advertisements, but I've seen a lot of Diggum McClellan ride around the provincials and in minor races at midweek meetings. He's a competent, above-average jockey, but he always excels in distance events. Once horses get over about...
Yeah. Now, we might just have a look at this shot of Fantastic. We'll try and pick this up for you. We'll just freeze frame it. With Brett Preble with a white cap. Now, interference, he got jostled there.
Yeah, he gets jostled there. Now, again, the gate closes, and he's forced to go, oops, crash, bang. He gets about the 3 more lots of checks. Now, he's only got about 4 behind him at this stage, and you watch him get to the line when from now on. Now, watch him now. Blue with the white cap in the centre, coming through. Normally, when a horse gets a bad check, he turns it up. But this horse got going again, and behind that first 6, you'll see him come into line right on the post. It was a damn good run.
3,200 metres? 600-metre mark too, so
yeah.
three times in the race he did get checked, and then he got balked after that, so it was a terrific run. But anyway, didn't win.
7 well, obviously Shogun Lodge. Defier is the other of those at $5.50. Of those over the page, Emission and Hey Pronto are both $20 plus, the rest at longer odds.
At this point of time, Shogun Lodge, 44 starts, 12 wins, 11 seconds, and 6/3, and he's had 11 seconds have all been in Group 1ers. 4,400,000 riding Stinton McCarr from the end of this month. Off this time, and the Shogun Lodge was away well, and so was sent home looking for the lead. Manor Hill, he's a noted leader. He's coming up very, very swiftly, and so too is Blanchard as they travel about 300 metres now. And St. Teresa's also moving forward as I speak. Now, let's take stock, and it's going to be Manor Hill. Last nearly 20 lengths off the lead, which is occupied by Manor Hill, and down the High Street side, about 8:50 left to run. Manor Hill leads the Queen Elizabeth field, a length and a half on St. Therese, a similar margin. 3rd is Sent Home. Then Kingsgate, 2.5 to Freemason. A couple of lengths to Hey Pronto. Steel Phoenix on its outside. 2 to Fire. A half a mission on the outer. 2 to Shogun Lodge, joined by Blanchard. This favourite's a long way back. Shogun Lodge, second last Final Fantasy. And Sailor's Century is another 6 lengths away. Manor Hill comes down to the point of the corner, leading by more than a length on Sent Home. St. Therese 3rd. Kingsgate is 4th. 2 or 3 lengths further back is Freemason. And then Shogun Lodge. He's over on the inside. He's got about 4 behind him as they top the rise and down to the 250. Manor Hill in front. A length Sent Home. Kingsgate. Shogun Lodge is back 3rd last. A mission, and down the outside Final Fantasy. Here's a mission after Manor Hill. Forget Shogun Lodge. Freemason is battling on. Here's Freemason, a mission, and Defier. Here's Defier after Freemason. Defier hits the front, and there's a well-deserved win. Defier and Nostril Freemason. 3rd emission, I'd say, from on the inside Manor Hill. And then Sent Home, Hey Pronto, Kingsgate, followed by Blanchard. Good margin off Steel Phoenix. And then came Final Fantasy, St. Therese, Sailor's Century, and Shogun Lodge has finished stone motherless last.
In the Doncaster, and Shogun Lodge, dear, disappointing. Perhaps there should, you would think, it be a reason. Glenn Boss there, he's pulled up pretty quickly. And there is the great champion who disappointed today. But to the new star, Defier. Glenn Boss dismounts, so we'll get a report on what the problem may be. He's being led back at this stage by the clerk of the course. Glenn Boss has dismounted. It's 7-2-9. Fourth has gone to Manor Hill, number 11, 9,675.
Guy, a new star is born, Defire.
Yes, it's lovely horse, Joe, and proved today that he can win a weight for age level and run the 2000. It's great. Opens up a lot of possibilities for him.
Like the Cox Plate in the spring?
Cox Plate, I think. He'll spell now and get ready for the spring.
An exciting horse he is.
My word, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I was forced to go through the middle of them, and the run almost closed there halfway up the straight, but he managed to force it open.
He's going to look good in the Spring Carnival.
You know, he's a good horse, this horse. When I won on him at Rosehill a couple of starts ago, I always believed there was a good win in him, and didn't offer to be at weight for age today, but I'm glad it was.
A nice Cox Plate type?
Yeah, I mean, he could well be, yeah.
Congratulations. Damien?
Very good horse. He's only had about 14 runs. That's only his second run at 2,000 metres. And talking about horses getting in checks, as we said, with Fantastic in the Sydney Cup, the head-on steward's film of that shows that when Kingsgate come out halfway down the straight, he comes on to Freemason, and Freemason's rump gets to fire, and Defire's pushed out of the race there at the three-quarter furlong, but he hardly misses a beat. When the opening comes again and Oliver goes for him, he finds plenty. And he's had a pretty tough preparation, I think, with a spell, trained for the Cox Plate. I reckon he'll be right in it.
Ken, let's just have a look at that. We'll get the side-on shot and we'll just see
just
here.
a little bit after this, Graham, as we let it roll.
Okay, let's have a look. We'll pick it up here. Now, it's back here.
Yeah, that's him in there, Graham, exactly.
In there, that's him.
That's
watch
Defire, inside of a mission.
And we'll roll tape now.
Now, Kingsgate is a horse in Perth with a white cap racing up to the lead now. He's challenged by Freemason in the Cerise. Now, you can hardly see Defire because Freemason's such a great big lump of a horse. And just as he came out there, Kingsgate, Defire got the backwash. He hardly missed a beat. He's just waiting. Now the opening comes. Freemason heads off a mission on the outside and Defire goes through between them. I think the big thing of this race too, Manor Hill was running along in the early stages at a jog trot. You could have kicked your hat faster than he went the first half of the race. And I think that makes it a lot harder for the back markers. And even at that stage, I thought, gee, Defire and Shogun Lodge, not knowing that Shogun Lodge was going to have cardiac problems, I thought they were both in trouble at the 1,000 metres. I think it was a good performance for Defire to be able to sprint under those circumstances with a slow speed and win the race.
Yeah, very sad to see Shogun Lodge tail off and finish last yesterday in the Queen Elizabeth Stakes. He was sent out the odds-on favourite, and as you mentioned, Ken, he showed a really poor recovery after the race, and they discovered that he had a cardiac irregularity. That's the first time in his career he's ever had such a problem.
Ray Murray was telling me after last...
No, it wouldn't have helped. Let's hear from the big
Stakes. It's getting a better race each year, and I really think the AJC can hang their hat on that race a bit. It's, you know, a couple of years' time we'll have the Doncaster winner at the All-Age Stakes winner, you know, like this year wasn't in Sunline's program, but it can be the race of the Sydney Carnival for mine.
Away from the TJ Smith. The race short in history, filled with stars. Mystique rates on top from Century Kid, and then North Boy and Fair Embrace. 7, 2, 8 and 12. Group 1 winners include Falvalon in this race, Mystique, Spinning Hill, and a host of Group 1 contenders, albeit in this race for Group 2 honours. $350,000 is its prize purse. $350 for Spinning Hill, Group 1 winner earlier in the autumn. This race has produced an honour roll of stars, and today another one will join the record books. As they move into line for this feature sprint, here's Ian Craig.
Last of the day. Eights are back and they're off. Oomph came out flying, so did Mystique, and Fair Embraces right there. 8-8's booting up on the inside from Century Kid and North Boy, Phoenix Park, and then Falvalon, followed by Spinning Hill. Over on the rails is Point Danger as they settle fully into stride. And getting back to second last, Chong Tong. Scenic Peak is now last as they race to the 800. Mystique is the leader, 8-8 is second. Third is Fair Embrace, North Boy the rails. 2 lengths further back is Oomph, losing some ground from Century Kid, Spinning Hill. Then Point Danger, followed by Phoenix Park. Third last is Falvalon. Second last Chong Tong, and Scenic Peak brings up the rear. In the TJ Smith, they're rounding the corner. 8-8 shows the way from Mystagic, only narrowly though. A length away in third position. Fair Embrace from Century Kid. Wide of Phoenix Park, and then Spinning Hill and North Boy from Oomph. Down to the 250, and Mystagic hits the front. 8-8 is gone. Coming at it now, Fair Embrace, and Phoenix Park is sprinting up very quickly, and then Spinning Hill. Phoenix Park takes the lead now. 100 to go. He's racing away, Phoenix Park. Second posse, Fair Embrace, but Phoenix Park walks in. Phoenix Park wins the TJ Smith from Fair Embrace and Spinning Hill. Mystagic, Century Kid, followed by Oomph, and then Scenic Peak, North Boy, 8-8, Falvalon, Chong Tong, and Point Danger was last to complete the course.
Wow, blowout result, but he's always promised to win a good race, Phoenix Park, the son of Royal Academy. $48.80 he's paid, $7.90, Fair Embrace, and not too many days. Some great reaction shots, have a look at that. $48 the winner, absolutely thrilled. And it's Phoenix Park for Gay Waterhouse winning the TJ Smith. And what a great thrill for Gay, winning the race named in honour of her late great father, the TJ Smith Stakes at Group 2 level.
We were the longest shot all day, and he was in whoopee land. Brian rode him superbly, and he just went right back to his 2-year-old form. You know, he was one of the best 2-year-olds I had in the stables, he and Assertive Lad. And, you know, to win this race was just so exciting, and win at Dad's race, I just can't tell you what a kick it is.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, I think she summed that up perfect.
Dad, but I tell you what, the punters weren't in whoopee land if you look at the last three runs.
I backed him last Saturday. He had the perfect run and weakened to finish fourth. Like, I can't believe how much he could improve in 7 days. I played golf during the week and had 20-odd over par. If I can improve like that, I'll be in the Masters next year.
A couple of nice runs in the race. I thought Fair Embrace, she's really underestimated filly. She'd earned up to 800,000 before that race yesterday. Run a nice cracker race again. And Spinning Hill, I think Guy Walter's deciding whether he's going to take her up for the Doom and 10,000. Her run was okay yesterday.
Yeah, her run was good, but she had a chance, didn't she?
I thought she raced a little bit close yesterday.
Yeah.
Normally she runs better when she's just ridden a touch quieter. And Falvalon, he just ran out of condition. His run wasn't too bad too.
Yeah, I thought he was disappointing. You know, for the Falvalon, we know there is the yellow cap in the middle of the field in the cerise and blue colours. You know, Falvalon normally goes fairly well first up. I know he wasn't hammered when he couldn't win, but you know, he's rising 6. Whether he's going to be quite the horse, the force he was, I don't know.
I wouldn't jump off him just yet.
Yellow cap in the middle of the field in the cerise and blue colours. You know, Falvalon normally goes fairly well first up. I know he wasn't hammered when he couldn't win, but you know, he's rising 6. Whether he's going to be quite the horse, the force he was, I don't know.
I wouldn't jump off him just yet. He had a lot of problems leading up to the race yesterday, and that was